customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's Conversational Radio Show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
You're listening
to Joey Clark.
Warm sound, clear sound, right here with Joey Clark. It's
Joey Clark.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. Thank God for another beautiful day. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful show. And Montgomery needs a new mayor. And the mayor revealed a new budget last night, $370 million or so, and claiming 66% of it is going to public safety. But as we've covered, it's not really a money problem with Montgomery's police department. It's more a leadership problem. Somebody was shot, critically injured overnight in Montgomery, but that's just a normal night here. Also, Barry Moore saying, hey, when you go down to the coast, it should be called the Gateway to the Gulf of America, the Donald J. Trump Bridge for the Mobile River Bridge. Pretty good idea, Barry. And there's some national stuff going on after elections in Florida, as well as everybody. It does seem like one of the bipartisan issues of our age is hating on big tech and being skeptical of big tech. We shall see. But joining us now, as he always does on Wednesdays, the one, the only Jeff Poor. Jeff, how are you, sir?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Now, what do you make of just kind of your main takeaways from this the primary results last night?
Yeah, a lot more. I think, I don't think it's like any big surprise on the Republican side, at least. Maybe a few on the Democrat side. But the more stunning thing was 500,000 more Republicans turned out than Democrats. And I know that Florida is a trending red state, but this was supposed to be one of those years with, a lot of Democrat enthusiasm, a lot of angst about Donald Trump. And, that's not really how it played out at all. And I'm not saying that this is like a hopeful sign. I still think it's more than likely going to be a Democrat cycle. But still, that maybe exposes some problems for Democrats that they are, really, really prepared for.
Yeah, and it's hard to read who's actually going to win. I think conventional wisdom, what history shows, the party out of power takes the House at least. But I don't know. Like we were talking on your show, we just live in this era of distrust where both political parties' brands, the brands themselves are not doing great. I mean, and if they're doing well, it's in this very polarized way. So AOC's got her crowd, Trump's got his crowd. But you got to wonder, what's going to give here with the midterms?
Yeah, and, my guess is that it'll be like one of these cycles like we saw maybe 4 years ago, midterm cycle, where, Democrats do well enough to win one chamber. I mean, I think the Senate might be out of reach, especially with Michigan kind of in play. But I think Democrats are going to have a good night, but I think they're going to underperform expectations. Yeah. That, the national news media, the inside the Beltway media, too, they get caught up in the feedback loop, and they really, start thinking, well, things are really, 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 really bad, and all the metrics show this, and all the Facebook and online chatter saying this. And, things are becoming more and more in our political culture where they're kind of getting more and more baked in. I don't think we'll ever see another wave not for a long time, because the way just the lines are drawn and the way people have adopted their political ideologies like a sports team.
Now, I know I'm supposed to be like, the Democrats can never win anything because it's so awful, but is it the worst thing in the world if they take the House and we just have gridlock and then everybody just immediately starts setting the table for 2028?
I think, if there was any other time where they didn't get clever with some of the way we fund government, we didn't do omnibuses and minibuses and, you know, these spending packages all wrapped up in one. And then you hold a gun to a lawmaker's head. You better pass this or you're not going home for Christmas. You know, divided government wouldn't be that bad if they still were forced to, like, execute their constitutional duties. But I could see it, like, I think big picture, you're being absolutely right. But on some of the things, just the way we run Capitol Hill now makes that a little more challenging.
Now, I want to shift back to Alabama statewide politics here coming up in November. First off, I have to say I was a little disappointed that nobody picked up on the Philip Ensler thing that I wrote this week, because I just think it's just stunning. The one guy you get to run for lieutenant governor was literally announced 5 months before then he was moving out of the state back to New York City. And this is the guy that you have running for things. And to me, it made me think, I don't personally dislike Phil, but it made me think here yet again is Alabama being used as a stage for folks that really don't care about Alabama at the end of the day. It's for an out-of-town crowd. And heck, a lot of our city's politics is that way with the tourism industry. It's kind of frustrating where it's not also hilarious.
It's sort of just like taking one for the team here, I think, because he's not running again, and you're not going to get a member of the Alabama legislature to give up running for a seat. They're just a really shallow bench. And here's a guy on his way out. He could fill this spot for us. He's not going to be lieutenant governor, but we will have someone on the ballot that gives somebody something to vote for. And there's a benefit to that, you know, down ballot, you're giving people a reason to go out and vote on a general election that may not, and it may pick you up a seat or two. So I just think he's just kind of, it's more like a service to his party, and it's not necessarily a serious campaign for him to be lieutenant governor.
Well, and it doesn't hurt because Doug Jones is a national nexus to a certain degree. It doesn't hurt to help out Doug. And I guess that's where I'm going next. Does Doug Jones have any chance at all? I know he's been hitting the data center thing really hard, and they're continuing to bring up the Florida residency thing and the Medicaid expansion thing. But for all the energy you see sometimes online, I don't know. I'll let you answer the question. Does he have any shot?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's just sort of foolish. Doug Jones, I think the whole Doug Jones campaign in 2026 is not to win the seat. I think it seems sort of similar to Ensler, but he even talked about it. And, like, for the health of the state, if you do believe in the two-party system, you have a flailing Democratic Party, and you could put all the right people in the party apparatuses or whatever, but you still got to get people to vote. And this is just like, let's invest the time, the resources, the effort, and start getting Democrat candidates, people accustomed to seeing a Democrat candidate on the ballot that's not still on the flowers or whatever. And let's get somebody that at least is there, that at least is talking about these things. So it's wishful thinking. I think all this stuff about Tuberville, the Florida stuff, or whatever the daily grind is on Tommy Tuberville, it's not meant to hurt his election chances. It's all being done to kind of make it a little harder for him to govern when he is elected governor.
Now, do you think, though, when the point you just made, that Tuberville just doing what he's doing now, and once he becomes governor, is going to wake up a lot of the state's media, for better or for worse? It seems like everybody under Kay Ivey has been asleep for years. And in particular, even the more liberal sites, it seems like they've been even, they do their usual liberal thing, but they haven't been going after Kay Ivey viciously by any means. It does seem like Tuberville, just him coming in as a popular leader, and also perhaps an enemy of inside Montgomery, that we might actually see a little more excitement around Goat Hill.
I think Ivy is always an interesting phenomenon. Like, she is Joe Biden. Her circumstances are very Joe Biden-esque.
Yeah.
And the loyal opposition media, some of it's paid off by her administration, and they're not going to, they're not going to bite the hand that feeds them
Right.
for their advertising dollars. But some of the more well-meaning, left-wing, fourth estate types, I don't understand it. I don't understand why you have this dogged pursuit of the truth with Tommy Tuberville, but you don't quite have that same fire in your belly when it comes to Kay Ivey and sort of missing in action for the last 5 years. I mean, I don't know what you can do. She'll pop up and make a public appearance, but she's clearly not 100%. She's not even. I don't even know if she's 50%. Just no one knows. And there's also, the legislature lets her get away with it. They get what they want.
Yep.
She signs it into law. No one's really talking about that. It's sort of taboo to question her mental capacities. I don't understand it at all. But, even the people that she's gotten on the bad side of in that chamber are sort of shut out.
And I think you hit the nail on the head. It's not just the legislature. Everybody is kind of inside Montgomery, at least folks that might make noise, is getting what they want. Maybe not perfectly, but enough to where everybody's quiet. And so just to give this angle to the audience, I know you know this, it seemed like Tuberville is going to bring in a huge group that's from outside the state. He's going to bring the D.C. team with him. Of course, we'll have to lean on certain people that really know the legislature and know Alabama politics and know Montgomery. But do you think that is a good sign? We heard Byron Donalds getting that nomination for the Florida governor saying he's going to doge the state, continue doging the state of Florida. I think the Tuberville bringing in, say, the outsider team that's already knows him, already loyal to him, is a good sign for a shakeup here in Montgomery.
I think for Byron Donalds, it's going to be a lot easier because the path that DeSantis cleared, I think a lot of it has been rooted out. But there's going to be a lot of tears in Montgomery when Tommy Tuberville is sworn in. Because I think he is going to bring in people from outside. I think you're going to see a lot of people get their pink slip notice right away. I don't know what he replaces it with. If he replaces it with anything, it may just be these vacant agencies that you're not really sure what they do. You're not really sure, like, are these people coming to work or not? There's the state government's just fraught with all kinds of, like, you look at DHR, you look at the prisons, and you look at Kay Ivey, like, well, why is a kid being left in a hot van to die and no one gets fired for it? There's no symbolic, like, you got to fall on the sword for this one. This can't happen under your watch or whatever. We got to make a change here. None of that ever occurs. So, I think with Tuberville, he's just going to come in and just do all of it. You have a lot of upset people. I mean, this is their livelihood. This is how they make their living. This is how, I take, for example, the ABC board. I think Tuberville's going to privatize it. I think I think all these people who are well connected in this state, what's kept that afloat, what's kept that rotten institution continuing the way it has for all these years, is the well-connected on these strip malls, on these parcels of land, and they are getting the state paying them rent, and it's enough money for them to go and create some kind of government affairs apparatus to keep this legacy institution born out of prohibition in the last century afloat. And I think that changes, but those people aren't going to this is the thing. Those people aren't going to go away quietly.
Yeah, and the example I always like to give, and I think y'all did at 1819 did the reporting on this, it was, I guess, a couple years back now, where the Department of Transportation has to put out the bid notices via all these old school media companies. And
yes,
they didn't do that, or that wasn't actually published properly, so they had to redo the bid. And it's just an example of an old system that doesn't actually affect the bid process. All the players in contracting in the state know it way before some local paper puts it out there. They understand everything's online.
But the dirty little secret there is you force these newspapers. This is what keeps newspapers in some places in business.
Yeah.
Are the legal advertisements, and that they're just required by statute to have them, and they pay for them to be placed. Otherwise, these newspapers would have gone away long ago. But the point of there is, like, okay, you keep you keep publishing good stories about what I'm doing in Montgomery, and we'll keep that spigot turned on for these legal advertisements, and everybody's happy. That's not really the justification for why we do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, there are way more mediums and platforms and ways to get knowledge about what's going on legally than through your newspaper.
And that's one thing that's a little esoteric, a little below the line. Who knows all that, whether they're in media or the Department of Transportation, about all that. But I'd imagine you could go to your point, DOC, and there's going to be stuff like that. You can go to every agency, every department in the executive branch in this state, and I bet you're going to find stuff that's been on autopilot for a long, long time. And maybe one instance of it is not a lot of money, but you start adding up across the government. Yes, some people are going to cry, but I think this is why you shake things up. It's not, we don't have a government just so everybody, a few folks in the state can get paid handsomely to do nothing. It's ridiculous.
It's so incestuous, right? That the people who know how to work the system and profit off the system are the same people who are fixtures in the state house, and they know how to lobby. And so you have a state government that's very narrowly tailored for a select group of individuals who have just been smart enough to figure out how to profit off the system. They were a great example. Chris Elliott talks about it all the time on my program, is like the occupational licensing in the state.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, and you have Keith Warren down your way, will set up shop, but like the state at some point said, you know what, a really cheap way to do this is if we leave all of these licensing duties and all this occupational education up to like an outside contractor. It's cheaper for them to do it outside of government through a contractor than it is for us to do it in-house. And they said, that's a great idea. The private sector is so much more efficient, brilliant. And then as things go, somebody figures out, well, actually, there's a profit incentive here. We can just nickel and dime your cosmetologist or your hair braider or whatever and make sure they have these credentialed classes they got to take and charge them for that and these fee and that fee. And we'll slow it down. And then when it comes time to get the license, you got to still get it through us. And that's where the system gets a little corrupt. But the problem is, well, why isn't somebody saying, well, we need to change this? Because I've been in really neck deep in Alabama politics for more than a decade now. The occupational licensing discussion is always ongoing. Why hasn't it been fixed? Just because the people who know how to work the system are the ones who know how to work the system, and they stop any efforts to try to fix the system.
Well, I want to see something happen and something move, and I think actually I'm seeing some hope here with Coach Tuberville. And I want to leave you with this. It's Eric Thomas' story, the gateway to the Gulf of America, the Donald J. Trump Bridge. Barrymore proposes name for new Mobile River Bridge. This is your neck of the woods. Think that's a good idea?
I think it is. I'm not going to question Barrymore's adoration for Donald Trump. I think it is real.
Yes.
Barrymore was the first person. I was there when he endorsed Donald Trump in 2015 at Lad People Stadium in Mobile, Alabama. He was like the first elected official at the time to get up there on stage and throw his endorsement to support him for president. However, it's something else going on here. Let's make this part of your legacy, Mr. President. Help us get the funding for this. Help us get that $8 toll a little more affordable for our people. You don't want this big, beautiful bridge, and we're going to put your name on it, but you don't want people to have to pay $16 a day to go back and forth to work. Why don't you? Let's think of a way to make this a thing where, that you can be proud of it, and maybe you could help us steer some resources this way. And maybe that's just being a little tad cynical here, but that seems to be like an idea. Why not give it a try? I don't know. Trump derangement syndrome only goes so far, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how many people would opt to go in the tunnel named for George Wallace versus the Donald Trump Bridge. The segregation forever guy, or the Trump Bridge. I'm sure there's a few, but I don't think people will necessarily care who it's named for if they could get that toll to come down from $8.
And I'm also, as the way you describe this, I'm sitting here like Trump knows people do this, like stroke his ego, the narcissism legacy play in order to get something like material, like funding. And I'm imagining that conversation with Donald J. Trump and Barry Moore. It's like, well, Barry, I know what you're doing, but I like it. Let's do it. I don't know, the dynamics of it. I think you're right. Well, though that could just be an example of what the systemic structural racism. The only choice we've got is George Wallace or Donald J. Trump. You just can't have nothing in this state.
Well, you take the William Bankhead Tunnel, which is also a segregationist of the 20th century, or your other option is the African Town Concord Bridge, which would probably be the more politically correct mode of transit to get to Baldwin County.
Well, I always appreciate your time, Jeff. If folks want to check out what you're working on, how can they do so?
X.com/Jeff_Poor for me personally, but I encourage everybody to go check out 1819 News, 1819news.com.
Well, talk again soon. Thanks, man. Again, folks, Jeff Poor, host of the Jeff Poor Show and editor-in-chief there at 1819 News, 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. It's 334-272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And they're at Pest Pro Ashley, and that great team are ready to help you. Whether you're looking for basic pest control needs, maybe you're annoyed with your current company. Like they didn't do the job right, or you're having trouble getting in touch with them. You ain't going to have these sort of problems with Pest Pro. In fact, you can get on a monthly subscription model where they show up on a regular basis to spray and take care of those little critter problems, those insects, those pests. Now, of course, you want to add to that basic package things like termite inspection, year-round protection, mosquito removal, get rid of those mosquitoes in the prime points of the year where they're just eating everything up. And, of course, they can also help you with, you have a big, say, fire ant outbreak, a wasp all of a sudden just going nuts outside, or maybe a little critter like a little squirrel or whatever is trying to make a home out of your home, make a home out of your attic, or say something's in your crawl space. Pest Pro can get rid of that as well. So check them out today. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces or call them direct at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro. That's Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back after this.
Are listening to Joey Clark. Joey Clark. Joey Clark. Joey Clark. You're listening to Joey Clark.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
In today's market, one of the most misunderstood steps of buying a home is getting pre-approved. Some people avoid it because they think it means they're committing to buy right now, while others rush through it online without understanding what their purchasing power really is and the next steps in the process. Here's the truth. A pre-approval provides clarity. It tells you what you can do, not what you have to do. It helps you shop with confidence instead of guessing, and it gives you real numbers based on your finances, not estimates from an online calculator. At Alabama Home Mortgage, pre-approval is about preparation, education, and strategy. Whether you're ready to buy next month or next year, we help you understand your options so you can move forward on your timeline. And if you're not quite ready yet, that's okay. We'll help you get there because smart home ownership requires precision, not a rush decision. Let us help you prepare so when the right opportunity comes along, you're ready. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today, 334-567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's My Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector. That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig? No, but it looks like you do. And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich? What's that? I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man. You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist? That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE. You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest. You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience. Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold. That's right, man. And I can see that you don't have very much experience. What do you mean, man? Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach. Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich. Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first. You think he's got a shovel? Never know till you ask. I dig, man.
Beyond the Forecast with meteorologist Ben Lang on the 2023 Selma tornado.
We were here in the studio. The tornado didn't hit us. We were just fine. We're still able to go to work the next day, but for other people, their lives have been upended. That's really tough. It is a big deal to be able to use my knowledge about what's going on with the weather to hopefully be able to keep folks safe.
Ben Lang, part of the Action 8 weather team, your weather authority.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
At Montgomery Men's Health, we saw a bunch of patients last month. Almost none came because of an ad. They came because something happened. A fight with a wife who finally said, "Get help." A breakup. A new relationship that made them aware of things they used to ignore. A photo a friend tagged them in. One guy said he just stared at himself in the mirror. And that was enough. If today's your day, call right now. 334-440-3663. I'm Dr. Smith, urologist and advisor to Montgomery Men's Health. Built on almost 15 years of treating men in Alabama, one patient at a time. Dedicated to ED, low T, and male performance. Here's what happens when you call. We book you this week. We'll get a lab in an hour. For ED, we walk you through your real options at the same visit. A plan before you leave. Don't let today turn into next year. Call now. 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Target is reporting its second straight quarter of comparable sales gains, saying a merchandising overhaul under the discount retailer's new CEO is attracting more customers. Target CEO Michael Fidelki calls the results an important step forward in the plan we laid out earlier this year to open a new chapter of growth for Target. One of the biggest of the big box stores saw sales improve during its fiscal second quarter. Home Depot customers spent more during the summer months, and they concentrated on smaller projects. Revenue for the Atlanta-based company increased to $47 billion from $45 billion, pretty much in line with Wall Street expectations. Your Amazon order may soon come down from above. Millions more people will be able to get smaller, lightweight packages delivered by drones by year's end. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Mr. Electric of Montgomery. Mr. Electric, we've got the power to make things better. Visit MrElectric.com.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Another day of triple-digit heat indices, probably 105 to 110 for today and tomorrow. Mostly sunny and hot with the actual high temperature in the upper 90s today and tomorrow and mid-70s in the overnight hours tonight. The rain chances continue to be very small, but not zero. Some random, widely scattered hit-or-miss storms here and there for the lucky. They fade out in the overnight hours. Same deal tomorrow. Storms could be a little bit more numerous perhaps by Friday. But still, the high temperatures on Thursday and Friday in the upper 90s again, middle 90s over the upcoming weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
You're listening
To Joey Clark.
Joey Clark.
It's Joey Clark.
The young ones are the best ones. That's a creepy thing to say. Don't clip that. Or I guess you can clip that. You can do whatever you want. It's a free country. But the young ones are the best ones. Now, did some pedophile say that? Or, well, no, that comes from a person working at Meta Meta's got a court case. They're in federal court. Were in federal court yesterday. Both Facebook and Instagram are accused of targeting children for addictions. Deputy California Attorney General Megan O'Neill launched her case against Meta in a trial that could reshape how Facebook, Instagram, and other social media platforms operate. O'Neill told the jury that Meta's business model was all about trying to, quote, hook the users, hold them for as long as they can, harvest their data, and then hide the truth from the public. Sounds about right. She said children were particularly susceptible to Meta's algorithms that Meta was aware of and sought to exploit the fact, pointing to an internal report at Meta. Actually, this is not just something some random person or staffer said. This was the title of the internal report. The young ones are the best ones. Creepy bastard. California, Colorado, Kentucky, and New Jersey are leading a bipartisan group of 29 states suing Meta. The states argue that Meta's addictive platforms resulted in such harms as anxiety, depression, and even suicide, and misled consumers about the platform's safety. Meta needed kids, and it needed to reassure the people who cared about those kids that the kids are safe. O'Neill, the Deputy Attorney General out there in California, said to the jury. Meta co-founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Instagram chief Adam Mosseri are expected to testify in the weeks-long trial. Meta faces steep financial penalties depending on the outcome of the trial, with attorneys general stating last week that it could cost the company around $200 billion. Of course, Meta and representatives from Meta have denied wrongdoing and pointed to measures they put in place to protect teens and keep younger children off their platforms. And again, everybody's focused on the children's because I think we can actually, in law, say children are not allowed to do X, Y, Z. I mean, for a little while there, it's like, let's, remove your daughter's breasts because she thinks she's a boy or something. If you don't do that, she'll off herself. That was a little crazy. Just a little bit. Just a little crazy. But for the most part, we go, yeah, kids can't drink alcohol. Not legally, at least. Kids can't buy even tobacco or even nicotine, just straight up. Kids can't get tattoos. Like, there's all sorts of things where we restrict kids. Like, kids can't drive. Like, there's all sorts of stuff. So when we think about the children, you think about, okay, the government has a lot more leeway in restricting activity. I think it's beyond children. Of course it is beyond children. In fact, last night I just decided, I didn't delete my accounts, but I got rid of Facebook, Instagram, X, all of these social media apps that I was looking at less and less, but it's still, I felt the pull there. And I felt, myself getting into the sort of scrolling, the mindless scrolling, and then reading comments that nobody will remember the very next day. I'm like, what am I doing? So I deleted them. They're not on my phone anymore. First day so far without these things on my phone when I woke up this morning. It's fantastic. If you still need to hop on Facebook or you still need to hop on X or whatever you want to hop on to, use your computer, but you can get off the computer. Use it for a limited amount of time. But having it on your phone, constantly there, sending updates, trying to pull you in and pull you back. Don't do it. Now, it might be I'm behind the curve, but I don't think I am. I think there are a lot of folks who are addicted to this stuff, kids included. So I think we can say with common sense certainty that social media is bad for children. Yeah. And, of course, that's the blunt verdict in a recent spate of high-tech court cases in California, Kentucky, and New Mexico. At a moment where Silicon Valley has never been more dominant or ambitious, one of its signature products has all the allure and the lawsuits of cigarettes, circa 1990. On Tuesday, opening statements began in Oakland, California for this latest social media trial. California and other states have brought a case against Meta, saying that the company harnessed powerful and unprecedented technologies to entice, engage, and ultimately ensnare youth and teens. As I said earlier, Meta denies the allegations. But you know who else has some issues with social media, screen time, and the addictive nature of devices? Quite a few of the very tech executives who created these things in Silicon Valley. Well, at least when it comes to their own household. So their companies are trying to entice, engage, and ultimately ensnare youth and teens. But hey, little XYZ, that's not just a filler. His name is literally XYZ because these people are crazy. You're not allowed on the screen. You're not allowed on the platform. The very platform Daddy has built to take over the world, I ain't letting you on there, son. It's bad for your health. I don't generally want my kids to be sitting in front of a TV or computer for a long period of time. Mark Zuckerberg once said, interacting with people is good, but passively consuming content, just going from video to video, was not associated with the same positive benefits, Zuckerberg explained. When Mr. Zuckerberg's second child was born in 2017, he and his wife, Priscilla Chan, wrote in an open letter to her that it's important to make time to go outside and play. Smelling flowers got a shout out. Hey, I'm all about the flowers these days. So did picking up leaves. Nothing digital rated a mention. Tech executives like Mr. Zuckerberg don't talk about their own families often. When they do, however, they usually make clear their wariness of tech. For their children, tech does not play the same role as it does for the rest of society. Teacher, babysitter, all-purpose distraction, and increasingly constant companion, the creepiest of all. It seems barely there at all. The executive's comments are generally off the cuff and are snapshots of a moment. Mr. Zuckerberg, for instance, talked about his children 7 years ago and has said little since. A Meta representative declined to say anything more. Peter Thiel, who was the first outside investor in Facebook and a longtime board member, said he limited his children, then 3.5 and 5 years old, to 1.5 hours a week of screen time. When he mentioned this at the Aspen Ideas Festival in 2024, the audience gasped. Many children that age experience that amount of screen time in a day, or even in a morning. But Mr. Thiel said he was a typical Silicon Valley parent. There are probably a lot of people in tech who do something quite similar for their own families, Thiel said, adding pointedly, there's some questions that might lead you to ask. Mr. Thiel did not respond to requests for further comment. Even as the new Meta case was heading to trial, British researchers raised new alarms about tech and young children. The benefit of digital screen exposure for babies is negligible, while the potential risk of use on physical, cognitive, social, and emotional development, so that's like everything, right? Let's probably throw in spiritual too, but science doesn't want to even talk about that. But the risks are substantial for all these things: physical, cognitive, social, emotional development. This is according to the Interdisciplinary Action on Digital Device Immersive Conditions team. Tech people seem to realize this from the beginning, said Mara Fath. Not Faith, Mara Fath, F-A-T-H. What did Fath say? She's an artist and a bookseller who recalled the influx of programmers into her Upper Haight neighborhood in San Francisco 20 years ago. All our neighbors work for those firms, Facebook, Google, and Apple. None of them would let their children interact with any screens. Miss Fath, of course she's a miss, not a Mrs., said. They all knew how addicting they were and how to protect their own children. Cautions and caveats from tech leaders piled up over the years. We didn't give our kids cell phones until they were 14, Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates said. When Sundar Pichai's son was 11, the Google chief noted he still doesn't have a phone, adding that our television is not easily accessible. Apple's Tim Cook said he would not let his nephew on a social network. By now, it's a cultural cliche. In The Audacity, Jonathan Glatzer's new AMC series, a girl at a Silicon Valley party is surprised that a boy has a smartphone. Arms dealers don't give their kids landmines, she explains. Phones are banned at the Waldorf School of the Peninsula, 2 miles from Google's headquarters. No phones means no distraction, no social media anxiety, and no constant comparison, just real childhood, the school explains on its website. Waldorf's price for a real childhood is as much as $47,000 a year. Wow. You think you could like have that environment that doesn't cost it's actually $47,500 a year. Several Waldorf board members are professionally focused on artificial intelligence, but at the school, machine learning is minimized in favor of quote-unquote human learning. The goal is to train the future elite to think clearly. While machines optimize task and automate decision, our graduates develop the uniquely human capacities that will define leadership in 2030 and beyond, the school says. Snap's chief executive, Evan Spiegel, has credited a low-tech home environment for his success in running a high-tech firm. Growing up in the 1990s, Mr. Spiegel wasn't allowed to watch television until he was almost a teenager. He eventually realized that was a good thing. I spent a lot of time just building stuff and reading. Mr. Spiegel aimed to carry on that tradition. Only 90 minutes of screen time a week for his 7-year-old, he said in a 2018 interview. He now has 4 children with his wife, Miranda Kerr. For the 2-year-old, it's like 0 screen time, he said on a podcast in April. We really just wanted to essentially read with him and play and explore outside and those sorts of things. The 6 and 7-year-olds are infrequent movie watchers, but other than that, again, we don't give them phones or anything like that. The 15-year-old, however, is all in on technology. Stephen Chen, a co-founder of YouTube, who sold the video company to Google in 2006, told students at Stanford last year that he was worried that his children would end up unable to watch anything longer than 15 minutes. The modern digital environment trains kids to expect everything to be summarized into a 280-character tweet or a short-form video clip. Mr. Chen said in his message his goal was to make sure his children know how to do things the slow, hard way. With AI, Silicon Valley's latest product, tech is less a passive broadcast device than a direct substitute for human interaction. It doesn't come between the parent and child. It replaces the parent. Consider a new app that Meta is testing called StoryKit. I already don't like it. Your child is demanding you make up a story at bedtime. No problem. The app will take the child's name and a few details and quickly spin a personalized tale. No more guilt about screen time, the app promises. Last week, Mr. Zuckerberg wrote in an essay that my 8-year-old daughter can already code her ideas and produce videos. When they bake together, he said, AI orders the ingredients and then offers suggestions. Others are as cautious with AI as they were with social media. I asked my 16-year-old son what I should say to you, YouTube's Mr. Chen wrote. He responded, please tell them that I read books and watch movies and that I dislike AI. Sam Altman, the chief executive of OpenAI, has his own cool use case for AI and kids. He recently suggested on X connecting family calendars to ChatGPT. On the drive to school, ChatGPT could make a podcast that talks about one kid's soccer game that afternoon, one kid's upcoming birthday, some news, etc., he posted. Using AI to talk to your family is something for others to embrace, though. As a new father, Mr. Altman finds his own attitude towards technology becoming more resistant. A thing that has changed hugely is how I feel about algorithmic feeds and iPads in small children's hands, he said in April. As for AI and his son, I don't know when I would let him talk to AI, but I'd rather be on the late end of what's reasonable there, not the early end. Like other tech executives, Mr. Altman said he was often bored as a child, which at the time he hated. His new view is that boredom was super valuable in all of these strange ways. He said he looked forward to sending his child outside to play in the dirt. So the very people that are creating these products, pushing these products, hooking you on these products, and it ain't just the children, folks, they don't use them, or especially don't use them for their children themselves. That should tell you something, all right. 272-9228. It's 334-272-9228. I got to hit another break here. First, this part of the program, brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, they're ready to help you fellas out if you just don't feel like a man anymore. If you're feeling the, say, symptoms of low T, low testosterone, and that could be, you have no energy. Your sleep patterns are all off. You're not eating more, but you're getting fatter. You're still working out the same amount, but you're losing muscle mass. You're never in the mood, which is just miserable, ain't it? why not get by Montgomery Men's Health? They've been helping men here in the River Region for 15 years. They're not just one of these pop-up places that hit this fad of low T problems. They've been helping men, been ahead of the curve for 15 years here in Montgomery and the surrounding areas. So just get by there today, make an appointment, and get a $99 testosterone test. And you can get your numbers in about an hour. And based on what's going on with you, they have a whole different menu options on how you want to treat the underlying issue. And of course, they can also do evaluations for ED, as well as all sorts of other problems that are a little more sensitive that you might want to be discreet about. So check out Montgomery Men's Health today. You can always call them up at 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or you can book online at MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. That's Montgomery Men's Health for every man and every season of life. More, well, right after this.
You're listening to Joey Clark.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
You want your floors to scream new, fresh, and stylish. But if yours are groaning, tired, old, and outdated, you're in luck. Because at Prattville Carpet, you can revitalize your floors while you save on the best brands available with perfect and professional installation and Prattville's unbeatable lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Start shopping for your floors right now at PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. This part of the program brought to you by Waverly Advisors, formerly Invista Advisors, and that's Waverly with Austin Baranko and the team there. They are ready to help you with your financial planning needs, or say asset management needs. Or it could be you run a nonprofit or endowment of some sort. Maybe you got a small business that you need help out with. They can give you fiduciary advice as well. And of course, Invista Advisors now joined Waverly Advisors, expanded their resources and services available to their current clients, and would love to bring on new clients, again, to help you with planning through all your financial needs. It could be you're wanting to set up a true retirement fund. Could be you want to get life insurance together and a clear investment plan for taking care of the kids as they grow up. Could be you're more concerned about end-of-life issues. You want to make sure everything is buttoned up there. Or it could be all of the above. You just want to do the whole package. They can help you there at Waverly Advisors. You can always go to waverly-advisors.com or just call them. Same number as always, 387-0094. That's 387-0094. Be sure to tell Austin Baranko and that great team there that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you. Now, I saw a local story here that changes are coming to checkout lanes at Publix. Now, I know some of y'all are more food outlet folks. Some of y'all are more Piggly Wiggly folks. And that's fine. But if you are a Publix person, well, I guess this is a Florida export. I think they started in Florida. There's change coming to the checkout lanes. They're doing away with 10 items or less for its express checkout lanes. Publix said the change will give its employees greater flexibility in managing checkout times. Rather than adhering to a specific item limit, our focus is on reducing wait times and ensuring customers can be served as efficiently as possible. Yeah, but the 10 items or less checkout kiosks are much smaller. So how are you going to fit 20, 30 items when you just got this tiny little platform right there? But I guess people got tired of trying to enforce that rule. Nope. You have 12 items, sir. Wait in line. Nope. You have 11 items, ma'am. You watch yourself and you wait for the bigger kiosk. We got other people here. But then, when there's nobody there, it's kind of gone by the wayside, the 10 items or less rule. That's only for express checkout lanes. I guess there's still going to be the 10 items or less main aisle you can roll through. Reports indicate that some stores have already seen the change, while others will see it implemented this fall. Publix has not said how the new rules for express lanes will distinguish them from the other lanes. The grocer employs more than 260,000 people in a little over 1,400 stores, which is pretty crazy. Big employer there. So, who needs 10 items or less? I mean, I like to go in when I don't have to do... I like to go to the grocery store on a frequent basis. I don't like doing the big haul, especially with how much groceries cost these days. You go in for what you need, you get out. When you got to do go around the whole store, you got a huge cart, you got to lug in all this stuff. I don't want to do that. I mean, I got the strength to do it. I got the body to do it. I'm still a fairly young man, but I don't want to do that big haul. Let's just stop by when we need a thing. As I mentioned earlier, the mayor revealed the budget last night, I believe, at the city council meeting. And the proposal includes a total balance of about $370 million. So I'm looking at this WSFA story, and that looks like a typo. It says 370,4111,346. But about 66% of that expected to go towards public safety efforts, including police, fire, recreation, and street maintenance. Wait. Recreation gets included as public safety? How? Anyway, the mayor, at least he's mayor for now, says Montgomery continues to move forward because we have remained focused on responsible financial stewardship while investing in the priorities that strengthen our neighborhoods and improve quality of life. The police budget would go from $62.2 million to $65.2 million. And meanwhile, Montgomery Fire and Rescue will get about $61.5 million, an increase from the $58 million last year. Also in the proposal, sales tax will increase approximately 9%, while lodging and rental taxes will grow between 3 and 4%. While not given an exact amount, the proposed budget will continue to put money towards housing initiatives, street improvements, community center revitalizations, and more. The budget allocates more than $10 million towards supporting nonprofit organizations and services that support emergency services, violence prevention, arts and culture, and more. City Council will have a few weeks to actually look this over and suggest any revisions. So anyway, we got to hit this stop there, right? Be right back after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Tuesday's primary results in Florida produced big victories for President Trump as his selection to be the state's next governor was moved forward. Byron Donalds capturing the Republican nomination. The scandal over the government's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic has broadened now as a former senior advisor to Dr. Anthony Fauci has pleaded guilty to his role in actually concealing federal COVID-19 records at the time, using his own private email, which was against the rules, to conceal some of the data. Amazon plans to offer drone deliveries to millions more people this year. Up to 500 suburban areas around the country could be getting packages of 5 pounds or less delivered by drone if Amazon succeeds in carrying out that plan. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average right now is up 103 points. This is SRN News.
full speed into summer, and if you're thinking about buying a home this year, here's what you need to do first. Get pre-qualified, not once you found the house, now before you even start looking. Here's why. In this market, houses sell in days, sometimes hours. The buyers who win aren't the ones with the highest offer. They're the ones already approved, ready to move, with a lender who can actually close. If you're not pre-qualified, you're a week behind. Maybe that house is gone. Well, I want to tell you about Fellowship Home Loans. For over 20 years, my friends Mike and Brian, guys that I've worked with, they've built Fellowship around one thing, getting loans done for real families with unique situations. They use programs and options that typical lenders don't take the time to explore. Down payment solutions that fit the way people actually live. Everything's done in-house, one roof, one team, all with a servant-led mentality. Get pre-qualified today. Go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G or call 800-510-MIKE. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 81938.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Victoryland.
Giveaways galore all summer long. Diamond Days Diamond Jewelry Giveaway and TV Tuesdays TV Giveaway with $185,000 in free play at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Another day of triple-digit heat indices, probably 105 to 110 for today and tomorrow. Mostly sunny and hot with the actual high temperature in the upper 90s today and tomorrow and mid-70s in the overnight hours tonight. The rain chances continue to be very small, but not zero. Some random, widely scattered hit-or-miss storms here and there for the lucky. They fade out in the overnight hours. Same deal tomorrow. Storms could be a little bit more numerous perhaps by Friday. But still, the high temperatures on Thursday and Friday in the upper 90s again, middle 90s over the upcoming weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Back to school shopping starts now, and ASC Credit Union has you covered. Our back to school loan helps you pay for supplies, laptops, clothes, and more. Stop by your local ASC branch or apply today at yourasccu.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. A Selma man has been arrested in connection with a deadly July shooting in Montgomery. MPD responded to reports of a fight on Debbie Drive July 19th around 2 a.m. 25-year-old Malcolm Davis had been shot several times and died at the scene. 21-year-old Aljamain Aaron was arrested on Tuesday and charged with murder in the case. Montgomery police continue to investigate a weekend shooting that left a juvenile seriously injured. The incident happened late Saturday night in the 4500 block of South Court Street, where the juvenile male was wounded by gunfire. The unidentified victim was transported to a nearby hospital in serious condition. No further details regarding possible suspect or motive have been made available. Trenholm State Community College is joining Ford to launch the first of its kind Technician-Ready Accelerated Certification Program. The TRACK partnership will expedite the time in which students can become certified auto technicians. The cost is just over $6,500 per student, with financial aid and scholarships available. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
You're listening to Joey Clark.
So Byron Donalds is looks like he's going to be the next governor of Florida. I suspect he will be after winning the Republican nomination last night in the great state of Florida, be the next governor there to take over the reins after Ron DeSantis is done. And he will be, I believe, Florida's first black governor. They've never elected a black governor. The closest was Democrat Andrew Gillum in 2018, who was like, ended up having a really bad drug problem and did all sorts of nasty stuff. Unfortunately, I think he was just arrested here in Alabama down on the coast. But if Donalds wins in November, he will also be the first black Republican elected governor in modern U.S. history. So that'd be a big deal. A black conservative actually rising to the top leadership spot in a very big, important conservative state. So here's a little bit of what Donald said last night, and I love it. This is just about Dojin thing.
Affordable Florida starts with a limited government that respects hardworking taxpayers who fund it. Under my watch, every contract, every budget, and every fee this state spends will be posted online, out in the open, where you can see it. We are going to continue the Department of Government Efficiency that was started here in Florida under Governor DeSantis. As your governor, we are going to doge all local governments and all state agencies. There will be no sacred cows.
Amen.
So taxpayers deserve to know that their hard-earned dollars are being spent efficiently, transparently, and with total integrity.
Now, Donalds himself has downplayed this whole idea that he'd be the first black governor, not only of Florida, but of the Republican Party in the modern era. But he's called, for instance, Florida a meritocracy. It emphasizes record, his positions, and continuity with DeSantis and Scott, that era, rather than his identity, though he has described himself as a black MAGA patriot. So it's almost like if you just have a good career in the Congress, that if you know what you're talking about in terms of the policies, you present them well, people think you're a fighter, that they'll vote for you. And I bring up he's a black conservative and emphasize that so much because I found this fascinating clip of all people, Stephen A. Smith. And he's sitting there with Chris Cuomo. But Cuomo sets him up well to actually address an issue because Stephen A. Smith was given a quote-unquote thumbs down award by the National Association of Black Journalists. He was given a thumbs down award for allegedly disparaging black women. Stephen A. Smith, disparaging black women, says the National Association of Black Journalists. So here's Stephen A.'s response, and again, it's going to be fascinating to watch how uniquely, racially, Byron Donalds has been and will continue to be attacked. And if Stephen A. Smith continues to gain ground, how uniquely, racially he will be attacked because of his supposed politics. But, if anybody can speak for themselves, it's Stephen A. Smith. Let's listen into this.
Journalist. You are both of those things. But that in this day and age, you've got to pick a team, and your team would be black people, and you should not criticize them.
Well, first of all, black folks criticize each other all the time, amongst family, amongst friends, or whatever. That's number one. Number two, it would matter to me more, Chris, if they said that. That's not what they said. They said I disparage black women. I was raised by black women. I have 2 daughters. I have 10 nieces. I have 4 older sisters. What the hell are they talking about? There's no truth whatsoever. I own my own production company and my own YouTube channel. I employ 6 black women. I have an accountant. I have a lawyer that are black women. I have big upped and promoted and supported black women all my life because they did it for me. So when you say that I am disparaging black women, you need to back that up. And as an organization, the NABJ failed to do so. If you want to engage in politics and you want to say, we don't like the political tilt that you have to your commentary, well, that's a worthy discussion for a journalistic organization. But you're a journalistic organization that's supposed to be foundation, based on fact. And that's supposed to be your foundation, that and objectivity. And you were neither objective nor factual because they were wrong with what they were saying. They didn't have any facts, and they clearly weren't objective. And that was my point. And to give me that thumbs down 5 weeks before I'm to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and oh, by the way, a year removed from me taking a national television show like First Take for ESPN, back-to-back years in Chicago in 2024 and in Cleveland in 2025. Those years, both years, I took my show to the NABJ conference. Nobody, when have you seen a live national television show broadcasting live from a journalism convention? But that's what I did. Obviously with the help of ESPN and the bosses like Dave Roberts and Burke Magnus and Jimmy Pitaro. They enabled that to happen. What are they talking about? This is not based in fact. And that's why I know for a fact that, you know what, you've got liberals out there that's in the ear of these people that facilitated them making this kind of position. And I'm calling them out for it because it makes no sense whatsoever. There's no truth to what they're claiming. And it's highly offensive. And I want the world to know that.
Again, it's a fascinating dynamic, and I'm looking forward to the day it will die, that strategy actually being effective. And I think actually we're seeing it in the death throes. I think it coexists with the death throes of liberal boomerdom. Now, it doesn't mean there aren't going to be liberal people or socialist people or people on the left, but the sort of politics in particular Doug Jones represents, he wants to say, well, we can't just close the history book. Doug, we're closing the history book. Doesn't mean we get rid of everything in the books the way you hyperbolically exaggerate. Oh, the Voting Rights Act's dead, the Civil Rights Act's dead. No, there's a lot of stuff in those acts that are still law, have the full force of law. Not to mention the massive cultural changes since that era. In many ways, the liberal boomer won. But they thought because they won then, they must win forever. I think some of the rhetoric and self-identification won't happen overnight. I think it's going to change. It already is changing. And it's a welcome change. You want to be pissed at me? You want to criticize me? Do it for what I actually think and say. Do not make it a loyalty test, certainly not one about being a certain authentic race. Because another nasty dynamic of this, and this is where I think the woke left wants to take things, is they would love for it to be about loyalty tests to race. And part of why I think they would love that is they want the white identitarians to rise. Because then it becomes this self-reinforcing cycle of what really matters, at the end of the day, that in terms of your identity, what really matters, not your faith, not your politics, not your consumer preferences or your economic choices. What really matters is what racial tribe you're a part of. And when people start thinking that way, well, not only is it real dumb, but it sort of reinforces, I would say, a collectivist mindset, a socialist collectivist mindset that denies human dignity, denies human liberty, and will probably create a lot of more resentment and hard times, not only between so-called races, but within the racial groups themselves. Because that's exactly what we're talking about here with black conservatives. You're talking about strife within the identity group itself. That you aren't authentically this. We're going to take this card away. And I think, as I've long said, what I would love to see is your race becomes about as important as your astrological sign. Oh, you're a Pisces. Good for you, you freak. Now, are we there yet? No. I'm not predicting that. We'll go that far with it. But what I would push for and hope for, and I know a lot of people generally agree, despite the sound and fury of so much of the politics and the cynical games that are played around this in politics explicitly, is no, the most fundamental thing to your identity is your faith and your love, who you serve when you wake up in the morning. Because you're going to serve somebody. And it's much better to say I serve God, or I serve my kids, and I serve my wife, than it is to say I serve my race. It's even better to say I serve my country than to say I serve my race. I serve my community. I serve my church. I serve strangers, who need a helping hand. There's a lot of things. What are you at the end of the day? And then you can add all the fun stuff, what football team and what music preferences and what food you like. Maybe you literally serve people because you're a chef or you're a high-end server, like in a restaurant, literally. But it was just on the top of my mind seeing that treatment was already being given to Stephen A. Smith. Because I don't think Stephen A. Smith is like a card-carrying Republican by any means. I think has a more manly view of politics, a common sense kind of view of politics than, say, a lot of the left would prefer. But it doesn't mean he's like a hardcore conservative on every issue. I haven't looked at his exact platform, but that's not my sense of the guy. And in fact, I think there are a lot of, say, hard-nosed folks that come from the rough-and-tumble media world that have been very successful in this world, especially in major media markets, major cities, where you have to be hard-nosed about all aspects of life, especially if you built something. And not only did you build it and you find that success, you got to then protect it. It changes you to where you aren't quite as ideologically captured. And I think there are a lot of more independent-minded folks. It, doesn't mean, Joe Rogan is not conservative. So many of these folks that have these independent big platforms or big voices and microphones, they're not necessarily conservative people, but the left has gone so crazy in terms of the loyalty test, in particular on the issue of race, that it's alienated a lot of people. Remember when they tried to make Latinx happen? Where they tried to put everybody of, say, Spanish-speaking origin, Hispanic origin, like under the same umbrella, Latinx. And people hated it, especially the folks that were trying to put under that umbrella. Remember when it was like Asian Hate Month? Like some guy shot up some massage parlor or something, so it's Asian, and of all months, this has to happen on Asian Hate Month. It can't be enough that a man murdered people in cold blood. It said he hated Asians. But I'd imagine, Asians would be like, that's a pretty broad category. And you see this in a lot of the debates that are being held. And yet the one category that is a huge part of identity, that in particular the elitist, progressive types want to say it's just loosey-goosey, whatever goes. A woman is whatever somebody says it is. By the way, two fellas showed up to a WNBA game in dresses. So I was like, yeah, there you go. I have a feeling you're going to see more fellas being like, hey, you want to go get drunk and put on a dress and go hang out at the WNBA game? I think that's coming. Now, that's a little more wholesome than them throwing dildos on the court. Because that's just, at this point, I'm like, I can't condone that behavior. I was unrepentant back when I was laughing at that and covering it so much. And it's still slightly funny because it's transgressive, but it's wrong. But, you're a fella and you wear a dress to the WNBA game. It's a little bit of mockery can go a long way. But that's what's so fascinating. There are certain ways, and it's very strictly upheld to be authentically black or authentically Latinx or whatever that means, or authentically Asian or authentically gay or authentically this, that, or the other. But they all have to be used for a revolutionary consciousness to push back the dominant, privileged, capitalist, patriarchal, white power structures, all that. Right. That's how some folks think. But they kind of messed up with the gender thing and the transgender thing. Because one of the categories, men and women, you really can say there are hardwired differences between men and women. Like there's a lot of nature. There is a human nature, and men and women express that human nature in very different ways. Now, one woman, one man, they could be all sorts of things. Don't get me wrong. But on average, what you're going to find is women and men, that's a pretty hardwired thing. And yet, that's the one category where they say there's no such thing as authentically male or female. Well, it messed up the game a little bit. In particular, when they hitched the ride of the success of, say, black Americans with the civil rights movement to things like transgenderism. And as much as I see somebody like Doug Jones saying, well, we got to close the book on that. We can't close the book on our great history here and, the place where the very soil we built these movements and stuff. And it's like, yeah, but when did the Selma to Montgomery March become about sex changes for kids, Doug? And I say that in a crass way just to get your attention. I mean, there are more sophisticated, nicer ways to put it. But that's what it became. And so one of the ironies here is the more they moved away from men are men and women are women, and you can kind of literally change your sex, or, I can do anything you can do. I can do anything better than you. Like, you dare hold back the ladies. They can do the same thing as men. Mm-hmm. Well, what you're finding, though, is in these places where they've created this very egalitarian thing, where there are no clear gender roles at all. Let's just keep breaking those down. And they are being broken down. As we reported last week, more women are working than men in this country right now. That's a huge change from 50 years ago. Huge. 56 years ago. That might be bigger than the civil rights movement. Like, you have more women working in the United States of America than men. And it especially gets skewed like crazy when you go to the younger generations that have been fed all this cultural Marxist slop. But what's fascinating is the more you've broken those traditional roles down, the more you've pulled them down along with statues and everything else. What's showing up? Men and women aren't becoming more alike. In fact, they're becoming more polarized. Their differences are becoming more exaggerated. Where man and woman should be in a complementary sort of arrangement. Now that everybody acts like, well, it could be two dudes or two ladies or three. We could have a throuple about it. You start to notice, not that everybody all of a sudden becomes real equal, but that the differences start to get exaggerated. And so, interesting study. Now, this was in England, but I think such a big sample size reflects the youthful population also in the American and the West in general. But the prevailing narrative right now is that young men, under the influence of the manosphere and enchanted by like men's rights activists and misogynists such as Andrew Tate or whatever, are being politically radicalized faster and in greater numbers than young women. And this creates a gulf of like political sensibility and all sorts of other cultural, worldviews between young women and men. The men who are now dramatically inclined to the populist right compared to other parts of the population. That's the prevailing narrative. By the way, why is it the prevailing narrative? It's because the elite, official, expert institutions say it is. But unfortunately, it ain't that accurate. At least not completely accurate. There are some men getting radicalized, don't doubt. But actually, it's young women moving to the radical left that's widening the political gender gap among the under 30s. This is a new survey by Merlin Strategy. to explore the phenomenon in more detail. And again, this was in Britain. So, it's probably slightly different. If you sampled a few thousand young men and women in Alabama compared to California, it's probably going to be a little different. But it's one big sample size that we should pay attention to. But as expected, they found that there are significant divides between young men and young women. But they are not just confined to political views. Gen Z women are more left-wing than their male peers when it comes to politics and economics. This generation of women is also much more pessimistic about the country and their own lives than men, and substantially more negative towards men than the men are towards women. 72% of men under 30 say they have a positive view of the opposite gender, compared with just 50% of women of the same age. 38% of men say they feel very positively towards women, while only 18% of women say the same thing about men. This trend is particularly pronounced among women under 25, of whom just 35% feel positively towards men. Men of this generation overwhelmingly think they're understood by women and can trust members of the opposite gender, whereas women report much lower scores on both questions. The gap is much more pronounced when it comes to safety and consent. More than 4 in 10 of the women surveyed said men did not have the same understanding of consent and sexual relationships that they did. While much debate about declining birth rates focuses on prohibitive economic conditions alone, which is a problem. Again, if more women are working than men, and a lot of, especially young men, aren't working at all, they're not even in the workforce, who wants to marry you, dude? You might find that one unicorn that really just loves you for you. But rarely does that actually work out. But the thing is, you can't just focus on the economics. You should also focus on how the younger generations of women feel towards the very idea of motherhood. Young women are twice as likely as young men to say they would not like to have children. 15% compared with 8%. And among white women under 30, that increases to 1 in 5. 1 in 4 young women say that their partner having different political views to them would be a red flag in the relationship. However, on particular political issues, women's stance is more hardline. 6 in 10 say they would find it difficult to date someone who disagreed with them on Palestine and Israel. Why does that matter at all? Seriously, why does that matter at all? What if I have no opinion on it? You're going to hate me then? Or who did not share their views on Donald Trump. Oh, my. That. Oh, no. I can't be with somebody unless they hate Trump or they love Trump. I can't be with somebody unless they're on the right side of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. This is, talk about, the main part of your identity being race or whatever. This is like real dumb too. Politics is important, but it shouldn't be the most, especially when you're trying to pick out somebody you want to love, that you want to serve and take care of. You're going to decide based on what's happening in Gaza? What Trump's up to that day? 74% said they'd find it difficult. 74% of women said they find it difficult to be in a relationship with someone who did not share their views about social justice. Mm-hmm. Young women are also more likely than young men to say they would not have a relationship with someone who disagreed with them over immigration. Women under 30 are much more inclined to be on the left economically than men their own age, although both favor increasing government intervention and believe that it is more important to reduce inequality than it is to grow the economy, because young people are young, dumb, and full of ideas. While young women are relatively evenly divided on whether they believe it is unfair some people have more than others and we should redistribute wealth, or that people deserve to keep what is theirs even if that means that others have less, men are more decisively split. 37% are inclined towards redistribution, whereas 51% are not. Men of this generation are substantially more positive about capitalism, whereas women view it substantially less favorably than communism. Wow. Yeah, women have a +2 view of capitalism, but a +11 view of communism. This is in part a consequence of how young men believe the economy works well for people like me. Well, it ain't as much at all, young man. This is just fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. (272-9228). I mean, I'm wondering if you've seen this in your own life with your own children in particular, your sons and daughters, especially when they talk about dating and trying to make things work. So, we often hear about a lost generation of young men. However, Merlin Strategies research reveals that young women are more pessimistic across the board. They are less likely to say they feel happy, ambitious, excited, and fulfilled, and more pessimistic about the prospects of being happy for life generally. I don't know. It's not looking great, folks. Not looking great. In particular, when we start getting into this envy, it's not fair that some people have more than others, or he got more than me. Now, fairness is a kind of inbuilt thing, but when it gets out of proportion, it gets nasty, folks. It gets real nasty real quick. Again, 272-9228. Let's take a call before the break. You're on there. Who's this?
It's Simpler Days.
Hey, Simpler Days. How you doing?
Oh, hanging in there, Joey. It's kind of hot. But probably the single most greatest decision anyone's going to make in their life is to pick their mate, pick their partner in life they're going to marry. And if you're going to base it on, are you going to disqualify them? Was there anything in there about if you're Auburn or Alabama?
No, I didn't see that. Though that could be a deal breaker, but that could also be something. Whatever happened, by the way, this idea that we disagree could actually be fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And did it say anything about religion?
And that's, no, it wasn't even addressed, which is, I would say, probably should be. And stats bear this out. The stats don't prove it or shouldn't be the basis, but people that get married or get together because they share the same faith values and share the same religion tend to stay together.
Right. All I got to say, Joey, is I'm just glad I came along when I did, and your choice of who you were going to spend your life with, who you were going to love, was not based on who was the president or what the president was saying or what was going on in Bangladesh. I'm telling you, it's a strange world, Joey.
It is a strange world. Well, I appreciate it. Simpler Days. Thank you, sir. 272-9228. It's 334-272-9228. Y'all remember the parable? This is a Daily Mass today. The kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out at dawn to hire laborers for his vineyard. And after agreeing with them for the usual daily wages, he sent them into his vineyard. Going out about 9 o'clock, he saw others standing out there and essentially hired them. And going out about 5 o'clock, he saw some more folks out there. I'm paraphrasing. And why are you all idle here? Well, nobody's hired us. Well, you go into the vineyard too. And when the evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his foremen, summon the laborers and give them their pay, beginning with the last and ending with the first. So those that started about 5 o'clock later in the day each received the usual daily wage. So when the first came, they thought they would receive more. But each of them also got the usual wage. And on receiving it, they grumbled against the landowner, saying, these last ones worked only 1 hour, and you have made them equal to us who bore the day's burden in the heat. He said to one of them in reply, my friend, I am not cheating you. Did you not agree with me for the usual daily wage? Take what is yours and go. What if I wish to give this last one the same as you? Or am I not free to do as I wish with my own money? Are you envious because I am generous? Thus the last will be first, and the first will be last. By the way, I think that parable cuts against all sorts of different political resentment that's out there, but in particular, communism and socialism. And this mentality out there of, well, that just ain't fair. Well, what's the deal you made? What is that to you? That the other person's doing a little better. Or you could say to some folks, hey, some generation of folks have been screwed over by a rigged system. Maybe we should give them a break. Well, they didn't work as hard as me. You know, there is a way to find justice in a lot of things. And instead, we remain in our grievances. 272-9228. 334-272-9228. Line 1, you're on there. Is this?
Hey, it's old Has-Been.
Hey, Has-Been. Hi to her.
Listen, I'm trying to track down something that I might have misunderstood.
Yeah.
The mayor wasn't at the city council meeting Tuesday night because I guess the heat was on. And I don't mean temperature. Another one of his offices is in trouble. But he said in his budget that he wanted or expected a 9% increase in sales tax. Am I to read that he wants a 9% increase, which would make us have a 19% sales tax?
No, he's projecting a 9% increase in revenues with the taxes at the same rate. So.
Good. I'm glad to hear that because he is hell bent on getting that occupation tax and any tax he can. So I could just see that one getting thrown in along with the bond. You just throw enough fuel on the fire one time and everybody just fights the fire and forgets about why the fire's burning.
Oh yeah, and we'll see if those projections are too rosy or whatever. But I mean, you look at the budget. We're not in a bad position at all as a city with our budget. Again, it's not a money problem. I think it's more of a qualitative sort of leadership thing that's holding us back, in particular in the police.
Exactly. But, he's been running a lot of behind-the-scene ads complaining about how Montgomery's always had the sky's falling mentality.
The scarcity mentality, yeah.
Yes. And it's just maybe Montgomery just got used to good physical balance in city government, which is something we seem to be slipping away from here. But, I'm glad you calmed me down on that because I was fixing to just go crazy with the 19% sales tax. And believe me, I wouldn't put it past it.
Oh, yeah, he probably would if he could, but even Steven, I think, would be like, yeah, that's I probably can't pull that off. Well, I appreciate the call, Has-Been.
All right, have a good one. Thank you.
We got to hit this break. 272-9228. First, though, this entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. They're ready to help you out. And by them, I mean Kim Williams and, of course, the lovely and talented Madeline Cannon, who joined Eddie and I yesterday, along with Mitt the dog. And it was a great time having Madeline here in the studio. And as she was talking about yesterday, at least start the conversation. It could be you are sitting on one of those great interest rates when you refinance in like 2020, 2021. Could be. But you should at least consider, especially if you have a lot of equity built up in your home, you should at least consider the numbers so you can think things through in a clear way. Don't just sit back, arms folded, say, well, now's not the time because the Federal Reserve's not moving on something. No. Call up Kim and Madeline there at Alabama Home Mortgage, and again, at least start the conversation. That can go for a potential refinance, maybe to reinvest in your property, do some renovations or upgrades, or to shore up a retirement fund, restructure debt, or maybe you're looking to buy, and you're not sure if exactly right now's the time, but at least understand how much you can afford. Go ahead and get pre-approved. Again, just start the conversation, and it's going to give you a lot more options and a lot clearer thinking when it comes to buying or refinancing that home. So check out Alabama Home Mortgage today. That's 567-4223, 567-4223, or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of health care you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients, from making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have. Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Tired of spending your weekends fighting weeds, patchy grass, and a mower that never starts? Mosley Lawn Pros is the solution. They handle residential and commercial lawn maintenance, landscaping, cleanups, and property care so you don't have to. They show up on time, do the job right, and leave your lawn looking sharp every time. Stop stressing over your yard and start loving it. When it comes to your lawn, call the crew your neighbors and local businesses trust. One call, one crew, problem solved. Mosley Lawn Pros, built on hard work, driven by quality. Find them today on Facebook or Google.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Do you suffer every time you try to wear good-looking shoes, but you don't want to wear ugly shoes just because they're comfortable? The Good Feet store wants to help you wear heels, boots, and dress shoes again in comfort.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Another day of triple-digit heat indices, probably 105 to 110 for today and tomorrow. Mostly sunny and hot with the actual high temperature in the upper 90s today and tomorrow and mid-70s in the overnight hours tonight. The rain chances continue to be very small, but not zero. Some random, widely scattered hit-or-miss storms here and there. For the lucky, they fade out in the overnight hours. Same deal tomorrow. Storms could be a little bit more numerous, perhaps, by Friday. But still, the high temperatures on Thursday and Friday in the upper 90s again, middle 90s over the upcoming weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or you don't pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back, folks, and it's a big birthday announcement for Mitt the dog.
Right.
And Mitt's hanging out in the studio here. Eddie Bader bringing him by.
Mitt is 8 years old, I found out today.
Mitt is 8
Literally,
years
like today's
old?
his birthday.
Hey there, Mitt. Happy
Yes.
birthday, buddy.
He's been a great dog, man.
Yeah, and that's going to be your mama's dog?
Yes, I want to take him to my mom tomorrow. In fact, my mom and them are getting pet food, and tonight they're all excited. So this will be the last night with Mitt. I'm not sad. It's just such a good dog.
He is a good dog.
Dude, we're riding in the car, like he's quiet. You forget he's back there.
No.
You know, and then all of a sudden he'll want to sit in your lap and lay on you for a minute, and he's like, okay, I've had enough, and I'll go back to the back now.
Good boy.
Yeah.
You're a good boy.
Yeah.
So one thing, this is where I want to be like bad girl.
Oh, bad girl.
But
Mean
not in
girl
a
or
good
bad
way.
girl? Okay.
What do you think of this? You know, at the time, I thought for like a short interim period, when Lindsey Graham died, making his sister, Darlene, who he essentially raised, Senator, cool. But then she decided, I'm going to run for re-election.
Hence, you don't do this to begin with.
Well, and especially, remember, it was Lindsey Graham. Listen to this question and answer. This is Darlene Graham at a South Carolina Senate debate recently.
National security question as well. Senator, are Taiwan and the South China Sea national security issues for the United States? If so, why?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Are Taiwan and the South China Sea national security issues for the United States, and if so, why or how?
That's a pretty easy question, actually, if you've just paid attention to politics at all. Eddie, are they?
No, I don't see.
Why not?
Because my brother didn't tell me I needed to worry about that before he, kind of gave me this job.
Oh, okay.
So, no, it's not on the list that he told me to be worried about.
You can say, yes, it is a concern, but we keep a policy of strategic ambiguity. We still respect the one China policy, but we do not consider kinetic actions a very wise, and going into other people's territorial waters a very wise action by the Chinese. So, yes.
You can say all that, or you can say, I'm going with Dr. Fauci, I plead the fifth.
Right. Well, here's how Darlene Graham answered.
I'm just going to be honest here. I'm not on national security. I'm not that informed on national security, but I do support the military. My brother was in the Air Force for 33 years.
Eddie Bader.
So I will do everything I can to support the military. My dad was in the Army. I'm not a polished politician up here. National security is not my thing, not my area of expertise, but I do support the military.
Congressman, I'll give you a chance to respond, and I'm sure you...
Wow. Well, at least she's honest.
That's why you don't mess with nepotism, Joey. Especially in such a thing as this.
Yeah.
That's the most qualified candidate you had.
Especially a United States Senator. It's one thing
Right.
if I'm a House member, I don't know nothing.
Right.
But I like people and I like the military.
It reminds me sometimes we get candidates in here that mean well, but they have no business in politics.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Those are the people I usually like the most. Though.
Yeah, they are. We do. We fall in
Right.
love with them, but we know they have no business in politics.
Right, you poor thing.
Yep.
Like, we should instead, maybe Schmidt should be the mayor of Montgomery.
Couldn't do any
A
worse.
pretty cute dog right
Couldn't
there.
do any worse.
Yeah, I think that's pretty great. We got to hit a break here.
All right.
Hopefully have Michael Cohen on the other side of this break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
Maybe you're doing well in sales, but you're ready for something bigger. At Blue Water Broadcasting, you'll help local businesses grow with customized marketing campaigns that combine the reach of 7 radio stations with powerful digital solutions. We're looking for someone who enjoys meeting people, earning their trust, and delivering results. If you're driven, professional, and ready to build a career, not just another sales job, we should talk. Visit BlueWaterBroadcasting.com and send me your resume today. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
More than 20 years in roofing means more than experience. It means thousands of decisions, changing technology, powerful storms, and customers who know who to call. Because Capital City Roofing does roofs right. Capital City Roofing has grown by continuing to innovate, delivering service beyond the ordinary, and standing with Central Alabama when it matters most.
I'm owner Robbie Pelt. We've been here through the tough times, and we'll continue to be here.
Call 334-277-3311 or visit CapitalCityRoofing.com. Roofs built right, relationships built to last.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and let's talk to Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Joey. How are you?
Oh, life is good, especially because I got my Eddie here today.
I came running just because I knew we were doing Michael today, and I did not want him to call me absent.
Absent, yes.
Yeah.
Eddie makes me think of the little dog on Frasier.
I think he was more going to call you tardy.
Oh, tardy?
More likely, yes. Knowing Michael, yes, this is true.
Slacker.
Tardy Bader.
So how are things going over there, dude? I need a Traeger
Doing
grill.
good.
I've got a friend of mine. We're getting ready to close on his house. They are talking about grills, and I brought up Traeger. He told me he would love for me to give him one as a closing gift. So I know a guy that's in the market for one, being me, and I know a guy that sells them. That'd be you. What
Yes.
can you do for me, Michael?
Give me a call after this, and we'll do something for you.
I want to do something. I want to go all out for the guy because him and his family, they mean the world to me. And
Okay.
Yeah. And he talked about grills, and I said, "You ever heard of a Traeger?" We kind of went back and forth, and I felt good because I know the man who knows the man that makes them.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Man, we'll have to show you a lot of love for a while.
Thank you.
Well, and y'all have a lot of different grilling options over there, including the big old grills of different types, but then there's an amazing wall of accessories, like everything you could ever want.
Right. And the other thing that we've got for some of our, like some of the Napoleon grills, we've got a company that actually builds like cabinets for them where they'll sit down in and you can buy one cabinet or you can buy a whole room full of cabinets. So you can make it as an L, you can make it just a straight shot, you can just make it as a cabinet that would house the grill. Lots of different options that you can have, and it's very well built. It's designed to be outside. They sell a lot of them on the coast, so it should do well even with salt water and air. So it looks very well constructed, the one we've got on the floor.
Love it. Well, and folks, I really encourage you to get by there, check all this out. And, of course, when you go by, you're going to want to look at the TVs. You're probably going to be like, what's that? Oh, that's a massage chair, sir.
Yes. Best way to watch TV.
And then there's a whole other side of the store with all the great appliances. You can build out a kitchen or make sure the laundry room's got something that works. They got it all there at Cohen. So stop by today at 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And find Michael and be like, hey, I heard you on that radio show with Joey and man Eddie.
That's right. Y'all come by and see us, ask us some questions, and let us help you make the right choice for whatever your needs are.
I appreciate you,
Thank
Michael.
you, Michael. I'll holler at you later on, brother.
Thank you, Eddie. Bye.
Good guy. Solid dude.
So we got a whole other hour.
Mm-hmm.
And in
we
studio
have a whole-
already,
Another guest.
Jesse Lynn.
Yes.
Hello.
Hey, how are y'all?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm good. It's good to see you
Good to see you.
guys.
See you.
It's good to see you. I don't get to come in midday very often.
I
I'm
know.
either early morning or late afternoon.
Well, I thought it'd be important to drag you in here today
Yes.
because you're here with Joey.
Very important, yes.
Right.
And the Eddie Bader.
Okay.
And the Eddie Bader.
Mr. Bader.
Again, with you guys, I was thinking that this would be a great time, and stop me if I'm wrong, to talk about some advertising opportunities on this particular show with Joey.
Yeah, I would love to have all sorts of people advertise on this
We've
show.
got some great sponsors now, and you can call any of them. They're happy as they can be. But I'm looking for like a restaurant because maybe I'm a fat boy. Okay, maybe you want to hear about your restaurant on the air about every day because Eddie's eating it.
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
We could do that. Yeah. Or if there's some legal
Services
options out there,
that's
legal
needed.
services.
Yes,
that's
legal
right.
services,
Yeah.
all the things. Well, guess what? I just happen to know somebody that can help them with advertising.
Is that
needs.
right?
Yeah, it's me.
It's you, Jesse?
It's
Okay.
me. Because for the folks that are listening, I know we've kind of touted it some on the morning and afternoon shows when I sidekicked with Greg. But yeah, I'm full-time with Blue Water as an account executive here now. So,
Beautiful.
hey, if you hear this and you want to get on Joey's show, I actually had a client call me the other day, said, I want to get on Joey's show. Well, we can make that happen, and we can make sure that we make it better with Joey and better with Bader and all the things in between.
Well, there's one thing you have to remember about Joey, and I really need you to help me with it.
Oh boy, here we go.
If you have people that are in the female persuasion that
Yeah.
are single,
Yes, like myself.
like yourself, just a lot like yourself, want to come by and just kind of want to intermingle with us, we love, because apparently women don't listen to the show, even though women call all the time.
Right.
But we would love to have more women come on.
See, we could do that, and I've actually got a few folks in mind already off the
Nice.
top of my head that we
Nice.
can make that happen.
Very
of course,
cool.
myself included.
Well,
you
of
know.
course,
Absolutely.
but now Joey's always been Joey. Now remember this about his clientele: he likes older women.
Older women.
Yeah.
Well, I may not hit him on
You know,
that.
yesterday, I had the priest ask me about that. So, I'm tired of that joke at this point.
Is it a joke? Can we
It is a
prove it?
joke.
Can
It
we
is-
prove
it is a joke.
Do we need the governor to
Though
call?
that one person continues to increase in age all of a sudden.
Is that right?
Like she's gone from 45 to 55 all of a sudden to like 60 all of a sudden. It's
Man.
like you just keep getting older, like
Stepped on a
5 years
banana
older
peel or
every
something.
year or something like that. Which actually, that's a great thing to do. Like when you're like 40 something,
Oh, yeah.
you're like, yeah, I'm 60. Yeah, and it's like, you look great.
Great for 60.
Okay, but what happens when a woman asks how old you think they are, and you tell them 40 and they're really 30?
Well,
They asked. Don't ask a question that you don't want the answer to.
So whenever a woman asks me, I always do. I take 10 years off what I think she really is. That way I feel like I'm safe. I'm in the safe zone.
How old do you think I am, Eddie?
Right now, you're 22.
Look at you. I'll be 31 next
Bobby,
month.
baby!
See, there you go.
Nice. So we'll keep doing this next hour. But again, folks, if you're looking to advertise, in particular on this show, but across the board here at Blue Water, get in touch with Jesse Lynn.
Get in touch with me. We're here. We're ready to help. And what I do is I love to help build custom plans and truly find out what are your advertising goals? What's your target demographic? We've got an awesome suite of digital products as well.
Yep.
So if you're wanting to get into the digital realm and really knock out some great competition and get some customers through the door of return on investment, let me know.
And how do folks get in touch with you?
Easiest way is going to be to call my work cell, and that's going to be 334-322-7060, or you can text me. I know some folks are big on text messages now. I personally like text messages, but make it easy there on the 334-322-7060.
Oh, see, good number.
Well, we got a whole other hour coming up, so y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. U.S. Representative Byron Donalds won the Republican nomination for Florida governor. Former Representative David Jolly picked up the Democratic nod in Tuesday's primaries. That sets the stage for a fall campaign to replace the state's popular but term-limited Republican Governor Ron DeSantis. President Trump has paused his threatened tariffs on Canada. He writes on Truth Social he made that decision last night just before midnight based on what he called, quote, the fact that Canada and the USA, subject to the finalization of documents, have a deal. Those 50% import duties would have been applied to Canadian products, ranging all the way from tongue depressors to hockey sticks. Florida carried out its 13th execution of the year on Tuesday. 61-year-old William Sylvia was put to death by lethal injection for the 2006 murder of his estranged wife. More of these stories at srnnews.com.
Are you tired of feeling lousy? Maybe you had a scare at your last checkup or just walking hurts? When enough is enough, call PhD Weight Loss. When I had enough 4 years and 53 pounds ago, I knew I couldn't do it alone. I'm Mike Gallagher for PhD Weight Loss. Best phone call I ever made. They were right with me. They still are today. Right now, mention Mike. You'll get 2 free weeks added to the program, and they'll pay for the cost of your food. $1,500 value. Call 864-644-1900, 864-644-1900, or visit myphdweightloss.com.
Maybe this is you too. There is enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It's amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled, and it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives, and MediShare is proven. And yeah, you could save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Here's the number. They're easy to talk to. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Now open from 6 to 5. It's more than just great prices on lumber. From Trex decking to energy-efficient windows and Tamco shingles, Alabama Wholesale Lumber has it all.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Another day of triple-digit heat indices, probably 105 to 110 for today and tomorrow. Mostly sunny and hot with the actual high temperature in the upper 90s today and tomorrow and mid-70s in the overnight hours tonight. The rain chances continue to be very small, but not zero. Some random, widely scattered hit-or-miss storms here and there for the lucky. They fade out in the overnight hours. Same deal tomorrow. Storms could be a little bit more numerous perhaps by Friday. But still, the high temperatures on Thursday and Friday in the upper 90s again, middle 90s over the upcoming weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Back to school shopping starts now, and ASC Credit Union has you covered. Our back to school loan helps you pay for supplies, laptops, clothes, and more. Stop by your local ASC branch or apply today at yourasccu.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
1819 News.
State Representative Ernie Yarbrough continues his fight against mass surveillance of Alabamians by way of flock cameras or license plate readers. Yarbrough says this level of tracking of law-abiding citizens is a clear violation of the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution.
Fourth Amendment says point blank that the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. How in the world does flock cameras leave me secure in my person when I can't even go to Lowe's without my movements being tracked? Never mind describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized, right? So the only legitimate end of government is to protect the citizen in the enjoyment of life, liberty, and property. And when government becomes abusive of these things, it is usurpation and oppression.
Yarbrough was on FM Talk 106.5 out of Mobile talking with host Jeff Poor. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
The news cycle can be overwhelming, to say the least. Andrea Tice cuts through all the noise with the Daily Detail from 1819 News. Alabama and national news in just 10 to 15 minutes. What you need to know before you start your day. Find the Daily Detail wherever you get your podcast.
A Huntsville police officer was arrested this past Monday and charged with domestic violence. Officer John Holliday will now be placed on administrative leave as the Huntsville Police Department conducts an internal investigation. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
When you're finally off the clock after a long day, dishes put away, kids asleep, feet kicked up, heartburn. Don't let heartburn take over your hard-earned moment. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Nothing works faster for heartburn relief. Alka-Seltzer effervescent tablets begin neutralizing stomach acid in seconds, so you can get back to your one more episode marathon. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Because nothing works faster for heartburn relief. Use as directed.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Listening
to Joey Clark.
Joey Clark.
And his old pal, Mr. Bader.
It's Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Yes, Eddie Bader is here, and Jesse Lynn.
Jesse's here.
We are here. We've got everybody in the house today.
Yeah, we do. Yes, we
This
do.
is how we do this.
So we have a local story. It's a top trending story there at 1819news.com.
Right. Let's hear it.
U.S. News and World Report has released its 26 to 27 best high schools rankings here in the state of Alabama.
Okay, let's hear them.
So number one is New Century Tech Demo High School in Huntsville. It's
Now
ranked
that-
131st nationally.
That's standard.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Their overall score is 99.27 out of 100.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Heck, next is Homewood High School.
Okay.
98.82 out of 100. Mountain Brook is number 3.
Mountain Brook.
Mountain Brook.
Vestavia Hills, number 4. Number 5 is Hewitt Trussville High School.
Okay.
Then Fairhope High School.
Oh, wait. You skipped over none of the Montgomery?
We're not there yet. Number 7 is Spain
going
Park
south.
High School in Hoover. Number 8 is Oak Mountain High School in Shelby County.
Okay.
Number 9 is James Clemens High School in Madison.
Okay.
And number 10 is Arab High School. Is that how it's said?
Arab.
That's
yeah.
what we say in Alabama, Arab.
Yeah. So
But I mean, you kind of skipped over the middle of the state there, buddy.
what do you mean?
I didn't hear anything central Alabama. I heard some north and some south.
Yeah, Vestavia Hills and Fairhope.
I didn't hear anything in the Tri-County.
Neither did I, and I find that to be just a little bit uncomfortable.
That's unfortunate. I mean, maybe they just don't like Montgomery. Maybe it's not an objective measure.
Or Joey, I'm gonna throw one out there.
Okay.
What is the the balance against? What are they testing? Is this just on their testing scores?
Yeah, it's statewide mathematics, reading, and science assessment data, and high school graduation rates are used for the ranking.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so the schools don't directly provide it. But yeah.
Because with Department of Labor, how they give the top 10 occupations is only based on about 5%
Right.
of the population for the state. So, it's very relative that information could be wrong.
Way wrong.
Hey, here's your top 10 occupations
Right.
for the year based on only 5,000 people.
Yeah,
out
but
of 500,000.
I think this is a pretty standard assessment, and
It is.
Yeah, we
It
got
is.
we got up our game here locally if we
Now,
want to get in that top
Were all
10.
those public schools?
Most of them were actually.
Especially the ones in Huntsville and Vestavia Hills. I could see that. That's
Yeah,
where a
the
lot
money.
of the main,
well,
the
and
money
it was just public high school.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't include private.
and Fairhope area, one of the most booming economies going on right now in the state. So yeah,
Now,
interesting.
what do y'all think about the flock camera thing?
Oh
Not
boy.
a fan.
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
I like privacy to an extent, but in today's society, that almost is non-existent.
But we keep eroding away at it, and flock cameras are just another erosion away at it. I'm not a big fan.
But if we could always see where Eddie was going, we'd know what he
We
was
do.
up
Somebody's
to.
got me on 360.
absolutely.
Oh,
I already, we got a story we'll get to in a second that Eddie's being tracked up and down, baby. From his tip of his toes, the top of his head.
Nice.
He's being scanned,
Oh,
and
there's
he
no doubt
doesn't
about
even
that.
know it. I'm not the one doing it.
No, you're not doing that?
No, but I think everybody's being scanned, but you in particular, big boy. But also Bama Carry, a big Second Amendment organization here. It's kind of in the name, Bama Carry.
Bama Carry.
Is weighing in on the use of flock safety cameras around the state. It's an email sent out to members Wednesday afternoon. Tyler Rhodes, the executive vice president of Bama Carry and executive director of the National Association for Gun Rights, outlined the dangers of mass surveillance created by the cameras. saying each image becomes a searchable record containing the plate, time, location, direction of travel, make, color, body type, and other identifying features. Flock calls this part of their system the vehicle fingerprint, and their own materials advertise the ability to conduct searches using unique vehicle details, including bumper stickers and decals. Or decals.
Decals. Decals.
I like saying things wrong on purpose.
I like it.
That matters in Alabama, a Gadsden flag, Glock sticker, Bama carry decal, or other Second Amendment message on the back of a truck is not just something another driver sees at a red light. It's now a searchable data point tied to that vehicle, the owner, and your movement.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
man.
These cameras came into Alabama the way kudzu did, quietly, then boom, everywhere.
They
he
from the
said.
Japanese, too? That's where kudzu came from,
I
Japan?
don't know if you can blame Japan for the
Kudzu?
Well, for the kudzu, you can definitely.
Okay.
Is it Japanese?
Yeah.
Okay.
Came from Japan.
It came from
Now,
Japan.
do you know what it was brought in for?
Erosion control.
Very good.
Well, it certainly helped there.
Yeah. And
Keeps everything green.
Kudzu does make a great protein hay, too, for horses and livestock.
I have seen some livestock eat that.
So it's kind of nuts how the awareness of everybody coming up with the flock cameras. And yes, this is very intrusive.
I just don't like it. I don't like.
But I said it the other day. It's like we're focusing on we realize we're in a cage and we're focusing on 2 bars of the cage.
Yeah.
Well, and what's amazing, too, is the UK and all of them have the identifiers on cameras and everything else.
Yep.
Well, okay, sure, they've used that. Well, guess what? They've determined that even the systems have bias, generated bias.
Yes.
So, yes, while that is a searchable data point, and I'm sure, like everything with good purpose, it has good intentions, but will eventually be turned negatively.
Already has.
And already has.
They've already busted several cops that had access to it and took advantage of the situation. And I'm not trying to just knock on the cops. They're human.
But when you're stalking your ex-wife.
Right, and that's what it is. Or girlfriend.
Yeah.
Or this chick I pulled over who's hot.
Yeah.
Now, are you a Comcast customer?
I don't think so.
No.
No, I think I have my identity. No, Justin has identity stolen through Comcast, though. Yeah.
Right. Well, and I wondered, because it's a report on Comcast, but I wonder how many other companies are doing this thing that I'm about to read. Dear Comcast customers, the internet gateway in your living room is now a motion sensor.
Oh, that's anybody now.
It's free of charge, and the data can go to law enforcement without further notice. What's more, researchers have already shown that these same signals can identify exactly who is in the room. On Tuesday, Comcast unveiled Xfinity Shield, a home security platform built entirely around the Wi-Fi network. Its centerpiece, Wi-Fi Motion, turns the leased gateway into a motion detector at no extra charge. According to Comcast, a typical customer has roughly 36 devices connected to their Wi-Fi. Now they're selling this like it's a big new feature.
No, that's how they get you.
That's how,
Remember direct deposit?
Wi-Fi motion works because a human body moving through a room disturbs the signal field between the gateway and stationary connected devices like a printer or a game console. While the feature is opt-in and according to Comcast's rollout materials does not track phones or reach through Wi-Fi extenders.
But we can.
Those limitations are choices Comcast made in software, not limitations of the tech itself. Comcast said Wi-Fi motion works without recording video, capturing images, or identifying individuals.
They lie.
Yeah.
They lie.
Yep.
Liar, pants on fire.
That's just, and again, it's like there's so much. There's so much
just
that's
it.
constantly tracked.
We do know we're always being tracked with social media or whatever. But at what point do we go, dude, enough? Enough.
We don't, because now we have opened the gateway when the cell phone device gained access to the internet.
Yeah. Well, you walk in a store,
Yep.
and it's starting to happen more and more often where you get an alert. Hey, on aisle 7, they got whatever on sale. Like,
Well,
how do you know I'm even in here?
We may or may not be responsible for that on the digital side. That's one of the cool power tools that we have to use as well. In competitive marketing and branding, we can geofence your
Well, it
competitor.
works. Geofencing does work.
And retarget and then tell you what your return on investment is
Yes.
and tell you if that person came to your store afterwards as a conversion.
And by the way, Comcast does spell out where does this data go? According to the fine print that drew criticism when the feature first appeared last year, Comcast, quote, may disclose information generated by your Wi-Fi motion to third parties without further notice.
Oh,
in connection with law enforcement investigations.
No.
Huh.
No.
Huh. The true capabilities of this technology were laid out by researchers at Germany.
Germany.
Are we German?
Very German.
It's the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology.
Of spying?
They presented it last November at the ACM Conference on Computer and Communication Security in Taipei. Using nothing but the traffic from an ordinary Wi-Fi network, their system identified people with 99.5% accuracy.
That's scary.
That's enough to send you to jail.
Right. The method exploits beam-forming feedback information, BFI. If we can know you.
That's a big beam
I
right
know
there.
Eddie Bader by his BFI all day, every day,
beam
baby.
right there.
Housekeeping signals that every connected device sends back to the router so it can aim its transmissions efficiently. Beamforming has shipped with consumer Wi-Fi hardware since Wi-Fi 5, so a long time. Because this feedback travels unencrypted, anyone with radio range can read it. Within radio range can read it using a trained model, convert it to a crude radio image of whoever is present.
Okay.
I kind of feel like this is part of my fault.
Yeah? Why do you say that?
Well, years ago, I worked for a Korean company, and they were talking about, they do dryers and stuff like that, too. I said, you know, it'd be really good if you could let the women know that the clothes dryer is ready. Maybe send them a text or something. Well, I'll be danged if a few years later that didn't come out. And now when we're watching TV, Susanna gets a notice. Ding, clothes are in the dryer's done. And I've celebrated this, but I didn't know it was going to open all this other stuff up. I had no idea.
See, I have a dumb dryer and a dumb washer.
You need all your appliances, honestly, need to be dumb.
Yes.
That's how the devil gets in.
Yep. The beast.
Yeah,
The
I'm
beast.
serious. Literally, when we're watching a movie and thing will come up on the screen, I'm like, why does that need to happen? Why? So if they can do that to my TV, I know they can do it to my phone. I know they do it to her, so text her.
Meta actually just changed a feature where when we are looking at digital advertising or scoping out a client or business to check their back end, their scoring, Meta actually just changed their ad pieces and how they track that information within the own dashboards of the owners of the page.
Really?
And so it's gotten pretty interesting here to see. And here's the thing, Meta's behind.
Yeah.
Meta is the last one in the
That's what
AI
I've
race
always been
right
told.
now.
That's true. Yeah.
And I'm like, this is scary. If they're the ones behind, who's ahead? It's a little scary.
Well, and think about this also in comparison with Flock. Like cameras are a visible object, sits up on a pole. You can see with the little solar panel next to it. Everybody notices it. City councils often have to vote on it, though not always. It can be private contracting. It goes into a network the city then taps into, law enforcement taps into. But, you know, people are getting mad and they're pulling them down or vandalizing them or Flock's putting down new procedures, which they're saying like that they're putting in guardrails, cutting default data retention from 30 days to 7. But the company's own justification undercuts the gesture. Flock says more than 90% of searches are completed within a week anyway.
Wow.
So they're busy.
They're very busy.
But at least the camera's visible. Flock needed a decade and roughly 120,000 cameras to cover American roads. The Wi-Fi build-out was finished years ago. One living room, cafe, and office at a time. There's nothing on a pole to point it out. And what, everybody going to give up Wi-Fi now?
Nope.
No.
Right.
No, I know we ain't.
I just keep my phone wrapped in tinfoil.
So I'm just saying the cage has been built in almost every way. By the way, I said it earlier. Last night I just had this feeling like delete, delete, delete. I deleted Facebook off my phone. I deleted X off my phone. I deleted Instagram off my phone. I deleted LinkedIn. I'm like, I still have that on there.
Yeah.
But
amazing.
80-year-old Joey.
I delinked all the
Leave me alone. I have LinkedIn.
Yeah, we all do.
I deleted all the social media apps off my phone.
All right.
And would you believe, for the first time in a long time, right there in my email inbox is a bunch of Instagram updates. I'm like, no.
See,
Like they can
can't
even
do the
tell
updates.
that I took it off the
Took it off,
phone,
yeah.
and now they have measures to try to
Sure.
hook me back in.
Dude, it's a business.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's. I think it's more than a business.
It's surveillance at its finest.
Oh, it's no doubt about that.
And we covered it earlier. All the folks who like make this stuff in Silicon Valley and big tech, they don't let their kids use it.
Nope, sure don't, because
Yeah.
they know what it exposes. And
Now I don't know about Elon. I bet you Elon's using all
His
sorts of
kid's
stuff.
got a chip in him.
Yeah.
I think Elon just looks at his phone and he could look through his kid's eye.
Well, and how many kids has that guy got at this
12,
point?
I think, right?
Setting up franchises.
Go make a baseball team with some subs.
Making King Solomon blush.
Yeah, but if you had that kind of money, and would you not just procreate? The nicest way I could say it. Would you not be a Johnny Appleseed?
Okay, the Bible says married.
Okay. Got me on that one.
Married.
Got me on that one.
Yeah. No, I think you're bringing on more problems than.
You bring the ethical, moral compass of the universe being in check with that.
As much as Elon can afford it,
It doesn't make it right.
it doesn't make it right. And I bet you there are costs, there are things that he can't paper over with money that have probably hurt his
He's got that
soul and
now
his
with
heart.
with one of his daughters, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
yes.
and also like one chick who's having his baby. Remember the Ashley St. Clair chick who like turned on him and like tried to expose him and sue him and all this other stuff that he wasn't being a good enough dad or something like that.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Chicks be crazy.
But it's like, now there are also stories about Elon Musk. There's this British bird he was married to. It was just lovely. Like, I'm like, Elon, you a-hole. Like that chick's like perfect. But the story is he asked me to come up to his hotel room and watch rocket videos. And which, guys say stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, but he's
probably
really going to show you rocket.
Yeah, no, and she said, and we went up to his room and for 3 hours watched rocket videos.
Probably really going to watch rocket videos.
Rocket videos.
And that's when she knew she fell in love with him. Like, oh no, he really is that autistic. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, and he cares about this subject that much. But no, I think it's it's sort of reverting back to the old ways because in the Bible, King Solomon has however many wives.
Okay.
Like there is the old way of human organization was a very few men take all the women and marry all the women. That just
got old
is
in a hurry.
And it's Christianity that changes it to really enforcing the monogamous relationship stuff. And in fact, things like cousin marriage, I just learned this the other day, like it was the church who came up with a lot of the rules around cousin marriage.
Thank God.
Like, because there were a lot of, let's say, Europeans that became Christians and they kind of are clan based. And there's a lot of cousin marriage going on and a lot of problems with that.
Yep.
And so to sort of tamp down on that, church like, well, you have to at least be 3 times removed or something.
Kind of
to that
ironic.
effect.
Yeah.
A man in Alabama is coming out against marrying their cousins. Don't you think, Joey?
What do you mean?
Well, you just said it's probably not a good thing, but we're in the center of
I
think,
will.
where people marry.
I'm
their
sorry.
cousins on
I'm
the
willing to
regular.
risk losing listeners by saying stop marrying your cousins. If you're marrying your cousin, don't do that.
Don't do it.
Yeah,
There's
it's odd.
gonna
So you
be
can date them, just can't marry them. Is what you're saying?
No, you shouldn't do that either, Eddie
No,
Vader.
there's
Just checking for the rules.
and FYI, pure breeding does not work in the human
Yeah.
race. It
Doesn't work in the
even
dog.
work in the
I was
animal
going to say, I
kingdom
think we've
either.
learned that lesson
So,
as people. I think we did. learn
yeah,
that lesson.
it doesn't work at all. You start adding on a lot of genetic issues and factors that get worse and worse as
Oh, yeah.
time carries on.
Kind of already got that going on myself now.
Wait, but do you think there are fellas that are like, man, Elon's living the dream?
Oh, dang.
Sorry,
I
guys.
think there's a lot of you don't want to be Elon Musk.
I'm sure there's a lot of that too, but there's a lot of people that Elon's even living the dream, dude. Okay, when you were younger, David
I'm
Lee
very
Roth.
impressed by that and continue to be impressed by the guy, but I don't want to be him.
David Lee Roth, when you were younger, was he not living the dream? No, not in Joey now. 13-year-old Joey.
Like you're thinking like the Hot for Teacher video,
Rock and roller David Lee Roth.
or are you thinking Jump?
All of the above.
Because even Joey now, I could get down on some
Okay,
Jump.
but now when I see
Right.
David Lee Roth, I go, oh, how sad.
Yeah, but I also am a bit of a fan of Van Hagar, and I
Yeah.
think it was actually Sammy Hagar that was living the life.
Oh, Hagar definitely living life. He's got
Mm-hmm.
tequila brand and everything now.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's always like these. You think they've got it made, and it's
Sure.
like, yeah, you sure?
There's so
Okay.
many problems behind the scenes that everything that glitters is not gold.
Oh, 1,000%. But here's the funny thing: as a guy that's gotten older now and kind of looking back on life a little bit, everything I have right now is what I prayed for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
But at the same time, I'm not so happy all the time with what I have.
yeah.
So be careful what you pray for.
Can I ask a question
Sure.
out of just personal experience
Sure.
here? Did you hype it up in your mind thinking it was going to be this big grandioso piece, and then when you arrive, you're just kind of like, oh, okay, what's next?
A little bit of that, but once I got most things I wanted in life, I realized.
That's not what's important.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
Titles, big
Only-
money, all the things
Only
that
have one kid.
we, you know. have all the things. It's not all that and a bag of chips.
Right.
Yeah, I think, Eddie, you ain't alone.
Oh,
There are
no
a lot
doubt.
of folks have had that wake-up call, and maybe it's a little too late on some things. And
I don't
it's
know.
like-
I'm still 56.
Yeah, that's true. That's certainly true. You are 56. I don't know what that means. That is true.
Thank you.
Let's go to line
Yeah,
one.
I'm not saying anything.
Line one, you're on there. Who's this?
This is Pat. Joey, I know you know your Bible because I've heard you quoted. You used Solomon as an example there. And we all know, he had 700 wives and 300 concubines. And he's also quoted as being the smartest man in the world. And I think that's an oxymoron right there.
Well, I think he also wrote Ecclesiastes, so you see that you can get a little
Yeah.
glimpse into the.
The first part of his life when he wrote the Song of Solomon, he had one wife and things were good.
Right.
Then things went to heck in a handbasket.
Now this broad's got me worshiping foreign gods and.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So anyway, world's smartest man, I think not.
I got to agree with you on that.
Y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you, Pat.
272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. We got to hit another break
All right.
here. But let's remind folks again, Chessie Lynn is now working here at Blue Water and is account executive. And So
Yes.
if you are looking to advertise on this show, but across the board at Blue Water, get in touch with her. And in particular, I would love some more live spots like a restaurant.
Restaurants would be a really good one.
And any sort of startup. I kind of love the idea of somebody who's just starting out, wants to get their name out there. And there's all sorts of businesses these days. We'd be happy to help you folks out. And I will say, when we can drive people to a place.
Honestly,
Yes,
and
you
to a
can.
brand.
You're looking at a guy who got most of his success from being on the radio.
Yeah.
And I still do. My phone blows up on the regular. Not that I want every realtor to do it. I don't think they should.
Why did you pray for this and you now regret it?
I did pray for something like this, yeah. I won't say I regret it, but I'm questioning it.
I'm sorry I'm not Bubba the Love Sponge. Anyway.
Wow.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. With over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
You can't control interest rates, you can't control housing inventory, and you definitely can't control what the national news decides to panic about this week. But here's what you can control. You control your timing. You decide when it's the right time to buy, when it makes sense to refinance, and when to tap into your equity to renovate, invest, or consolidate debt and free up monthly cash flow. Real estate decisions aren't one size fits all, and they shouldn't be driven by headlines or social media noise. They should be based on your goals, your finances, and your life. The smartest moves happen when you focus on what you can control and work with someone who helps you see the full picture. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
WAKA Blue Water Broadcasting, Ty and Doll Incorporated, and Piggly Wiggly Food for Less invite you to help us stuff the truck. on Saturday, August 22nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Sturbridge Piggly Wiggly Food for Less. Donate non-perishable food, classroom supplies, or cash to help local students facing food insecurity and support our teachers. Visit WAKA.com for a shopping list and stop by our community resource fair for valuable services and information for River Region families. Together, we can stuff the truck and strengthen our community.
Tired of spending your weekends fighting weeds, patchy grass, and a mower that never starts? Mosley Lawn Pros is the solution. They handle residential and commercial lawn maintenance, landscaping, cleanups, and property care so you don't have to. They show up on time, do the job right, and leave your lawn looking sharp every time. Stop stressing over your yard and start loving it. When it comes to your lawn, call the crew your neighbors and local businesses trust. One call, one crew, problem solved. Mosley Lawn Pros, built on hard work, driven by quality. Find them today on Facebook or Google.
Every occasion deserves great food, amazing drinks, and an atmosphere worth remembering. Welcome to 243 South in the heart of historic downtown Prattville. From lunch and dinner to weekend brunch and happy hour, 243 South brings Southern hospitality and elevated dining together under one roof. And there's even more. The Ember Parlor is 243 South's newest addition, a rentable event space perfect for your next party, private gathering, or celebration. Plus, don't forget about 243 South's catering menu and delivery options. 243 South, come hungry and stay a while.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a political activist. That's right, man. And could you please explain to us your red cap with the letters MMRGA? Yeah, man, this is my MARGA hat. MARGA? Yeah, man, that stands for Make My Retirement Great Again. I see. And to do that, what you need to do is call David Ernest, the asset preservationist. That's right, man. You can call David at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE. And I understand that's a toll-free number. Yeah, man. Get David Ernest on the case, and your retirement will be great again. And you make these hats? I do. Here's a whole pile left from the last administration. And they say CPWABD. Yeah, man. Corn Pop was a bad dude. And as you said, there's a whole pile here. Well, there wasn't much demand. I can dig it.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Truckers, listen up. A $2,500 sign-on bonus only at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Work for a company that puts God and family first. 855-777-9785. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. The heat wave continues, and the rain chances are still small, but not zero. The storms tend to fade away at night. Overnight low temperature in the middle 70s. Tomorrow, once again, mostly sunny and hot with a high temperature in the upper 90s, and the heat index easily in the 105 to 110 range again. Rain chances generally 20% or less, but the storms, I think, will become a little bit more numerous on Friday in that there will be more storms to go around, but still random. Even Friday, high temperatures will be in the upper 90s and will be in the mid-90s on Saturday and Sunday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Is cocaine a stronger up?
Yeah.
So you're way up with cocaine more than anything else you can think of.
Cocaine will turn you into a damn owl, homie. You know what I'm
saying? Cocaine will turn you into an owl, homie. And did y'all see, welcome back, folks, this big bust at Penn State?
Yeah, the cocaine bust.
The big cocaine bust. But you want to see, like, the obvious mistake that was made that led to the bust?
The nerds?
Well, a Penn State frat bro charged in a cocaine trafficking ring was busted after authorities were tipped off that he was allegedly accepting Venmo payments for drugs under his own name.
What an idiot. In Greg's terms, that'd be a morning maroon or an afternoon idiot nominee.
I gotta turn off my Venmo. I'll be right back.
Authorities were told by a confidential informant that a male using the nickname T-Rob is selling large amounts of cocaine from the Delta Epsilon fraternity house.
How white is T-Rob?
Oh, very white. Alleged drug kingpin T-Rob was accepting payments through a Venmo account with the username Tom Robinson.
Oh, my God.
The third.
Okay, you want to see T-Rob here?
Yes.
Let me pull this guy up because that was a perfect question, Eddie Bader. How white is this fella?
With a name like that.
I'm like, yeah. You want to see somebody that puts raisins in a potato salad? It's going to be Thomas Robinson. Oh, my goodness. Here, let me actually share the screen. It's absolutely fitting. This, folks, is Tom Robinson.
Oh, good Lord.
My God.
Nerd alert.
Nerd alert. Wow.
Hey, man. Okay, you guys are younger than me. Both of you had the college experience.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I was around a college, this was a normal thing. It was just who's running it. I mean,
I didn't pay attention, and I was there for one thing and one thing only, and that was to get my degree and get out. I wasn't there for the boutique lifestyle.
But did you not notice there were people in your class that looked like Joey but acted like me?
Well, considering that I was in agriculture.
Oh, then heck
yeah. Everybody looked like it acted like that. So, I mean, I guess in a way, but also my naiveness also served me well because I didn't get into the frat and sorority stuff. The idea of paying for friends was not in my wheelhouse.
I get you there.
Well, but I don't know. In my experience, I'm sure there was cocaine on Auburn's campus.
Same.
I'm sure there was.
Mm-hmm.
But it was more like Auburn was your mushrooms and weed campus.
Agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
And the University of Alabama was much more your cocaine, your pills. Now, I'm sure that there's all sorts of overlap there.
Oh, sure.
As well. But, that was just kind of the vibe. Tuscaloosa was a little more fast-paced.
I know a few execs that are up in higher education now that partook in some of that stuff at Alabama and, I always thought it was
just rumors.
By the way, this is this is real police work here. The database search for Tom Robinson eventually led cops to a Thomas Robinson with an address at the fraternity house at Penn State College, at State College, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. When they just did a quick search. Who needs flock cameras?
That's what I mean. Why are we doing flock cameras?
When authorities raided the frat house in December 2024, Thomas Robinson, now 23, allegedly resisted arrest and thought the officers were his fraternity brothers playing a prank on him.
Oh, no.
He was tasered and taken into custody while a search of his dorm room allegedly turned up over 8 grams of cocaine, almost 8 ounces of weed, and more than 200 amphetamine and dextroamphetamine pills.
Oh, my Lord.
Dextroamphetamine? I don't
what's
know.
that?
It seems like it's a more complex amphetamine.
Well,
a Kimber 45 caliber handgun was also allegedly found in a safe above his mini fridge.
Oh, got a mini fridge, but
Well, he's got to protect the goods. And again, the guy we're talking about is this fella right here.
Whitest white man you've ever seen.
Thomas Robinson.
Yo, T-Rob, what's up?
My God.
Like,
what
look
an
at that.
idiot.
Yeah, when he goes to jail, you think when people ask his name, he said he was T-Rob or I'm Thomas?
Robinson was charged in several incidents from September to December 2024, including drug manufacturing delivery, criminal use of a communication facility, possession of a controlled substance.
That jacket and tie.
Yeah?
I got that exact jacket. When we went to see Trump, that's what I wore.
No, your tie didn't have all those fancy little designs on it. Okay. You are going blind. You're 56.
That's why we got the pre-planning for coming in.
Following his arrest, Robinson reportedly ratted on his alleged supplier.
Yeah, they do.
Of course.
Fellow student Agostino Abatelio,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
a member of Penn State's Sigma Chi frat.
Probably not somebody you want to rat on.
Yeah, he's got definite ties
Yeah.
to the cartel.
Yeah, that's the guy you didn't
And
want to
Yeah,
You're gonna
Abatio and T-Rob reportedly met through one of Robinson's fraternity brothers who was already allegedly dealing drugs. So there's like a whole, like an initiation within the initiations. That brother allegedly asked Robinson to become, quote, business partners in distributing cocaine in July 2023. The unidentified frat brother allegedly told Robinson he wanted out in December of 2023 and told a grand jury that Robinson had bought him out of the most recent cocaine supply they had purchased together.
Bought him out, then ratted him out, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, it wasn't just T-Rob.
Oh.
His father,
Oh.
Paul Robinson, was also charged in connection with the cocaine ring.
What an idiot. That's called too much money.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dad, you need to stay away from college.
Robinson allegedly made several large cocaine purchases
We needed daddy's money.
from the other frat bro between January and September 2024, including ones for 18 grand and 22 grand. Isn't clear whether Robinson has entered a plea and he is scheduled to appear in court next month for a pretrial hearing. Penn State said it was placing this frat on interim suspension amid the investigation in a statement this week, adding that Sigma Chi operates outside of the university's oversight. Well, of course it does.
Yeah.
But that didn't stop Auburn from shutting down Alpha Psi.
Thank you.
From Alpha Psi Rodeo.
Oh, that's true. What happened there?
Well, let's see. Drugs, alcohol, sex, rock and roll, everything else
Golly.
in between.
What people did at the rodeo.
Pretty much.
That's my memory of the rodeo. Well,
that's-
actually, my memory of the rodeo was getting real sunburned, like a racing stripe. I had on a denim shirt, and I drank too much whiskey and left it unbuttoned, fell asleep in the back of a truck bed. And, I think that was the second year. Yeah.
Second year.
Yeah. First year, I took something probably shouldn't have, and I was just
But you didn't pass
of
out
it.
in the back of a truck, did you?
No, the next year it was more whiskey it did to me.
I never went because it.
You have class?
I do.
We'll start with
I'm not
that.
saying that I'm better than anybody, but I'm like,
Oh, I am.
that was not my idea of fun. And the final year that they shut down Alpha Psi Rodeo
Yeah.
was after several rape
Oh,
rape
really? What
options.
college? Yep.
And it wasn't too long after Sky Bar had gotten busted and all of that as well. And they found out there were connections and all of that. So, that fraternity is no more. And that's hence why now you have the Auburn Rodeo that was taken over by the Parks and Rec, because obviously they saw money.
Big event.
They
yeah.
saw money in it.
Big time.
But with the oversight of the fraternity, it didn't end up too terribly
my
well.
first year, you got to envision, I'm Joey, this little cloistered Catholic boy. And
You're living wild, footloose, and fancy free.
And
I know, man.
the big deal
No
for us is
curfew?
we snuck in glass bottles. Oh, no.
Glass balls of what?
You're supposed to have glass bottles of beer. And we weren't supposed to have beer, too, because we were like 18
Yeah, I
or
assumed
19
the beer
years
part
old.
was the given. It was the glass bottles where you
Yeah,
felt like you
we were
breaking the
worried
law.
that they were going to really get us for the glass bottles. We got them in. And I remember getting out of the truck.
Love it.
And I remember hopping out of the truck, my buddy's truck, and immediately my shoes, I don't even think I was wearing proper boots, it might have been boots, immediately just sink deep into the mud.
Oh.
And I look up and I crap you not, it is like 40 by 60 foot massive Confederate battle flag flying over the arena or little setup they have there where they're going to have the actual, and I'm like, what fresh hell is this? Where am I?
Poor little Joey. He was scarred first day.
It's like, welcome to Alabama, son. Yeah. No, it was fine. I took some pill that just made me relax, or it was probably like a Klonopin or something. I admit it. I admit to all this stuff. But I did not behave myself, and I was too much into self-medicating. But I remember most of the rodeo, but often, after 2 years of that, I'm good. I don't need to do that anymore.
I had a girl, so where I used to live, when it was out past old, down College Street past Chihuahua, you take technology, but I lived on out that direction.
Yeah.
Well, I had the 1-ton, and of course, traffic's backed up in this left lane to get across College. Had it not been for her boyfriend snatching her out of the middle of the road, she decided she was going to dart across to go to the bathroom right in front of my truck at 45 miles an hour. And had it not been for her boyfriend grabbing her, I screeched to a halt. And, buddy, let me tell you, I gave them up one side and down the other. And I'm like, y'all are idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no.
Yeah, it's also like you see this frack get busted. And you see these fellas get busted, and you're like, yeah. Like, how many folks have been doing this stuff. Did this stuff, and they never even get touched.
They never even get touched.
Because they didn't use their actual name on, like, a... That's hilarious.
It is hilarious, but also when you're that age, do you not feel like you're bulletproof? And he probably already felt like I'm getting over one.
He thought the cops arresting him were his frat bros pranking him. That's where he was.
That's called idiot.
Untouchable.
It's called the king-like mentality,
yes,
which very many of our politicians have,
don't I know.
and people that are in power that shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
I have news for you. You are not above the law
Mm-hmm.
in this realm or in the next.
In the next, for sure.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Or it's east of the Rockies.
East,
Well, hello. I've got a quick question. I'm going to kind of depend on you guys to follow this. The young man, T-Rob at Penn State.
Yeah.
Okay. He rolled over on somebody with a very heavy Latin name. Would it be improper for us to make book on whether this kid actually makes it until New Year's? I mean, it doesn't sound promising to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that name suggests that, but it also could be just some other rich kid. Who knows?
Yeah, he's rich because my daddy's in the cartel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So you just assume everybody's got his last name.
Their people,
But how many Patels do you know that own gas stations?
That's one way to put it, Eddie
Thank
Baker. I'm sure you would have felt right at home under that Confederate battle flag in the mud.
Yeah. Well, if anything, this is interesting radio, guys. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
This is what happens when I come in.
There's some commonality we cannot be afraid to point out sometimes.
It's fair, Eddie Bader.
I hate to be the one that has to do it all the time. It makes me look like a racist.
Well,
see?
I don't think that, Eddie. I
Thank
think
you.
you're stating facts. When it's a fact, you can't,
right.
You can't dispose or deny the facts.
Well, and look at this photo of this guy. Like, you've met that guy. Everybody who's been to, especially here in the Southeast, has met that bro.
Yeah,
Like, you know that guy.
I'll say what my thought is off the air when we're not on.
Yeah, I got one too. It ain't so good.
Oh, my.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't ever let that guy pour you a drink.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he looks like he has a silver spoon stuck up his butt.
Yeah, he
There
does.
you go.
There's that.
Yep.
There's also that. I'm just saying, there's a lot of those.
That's right.
There's a lot of those. Anyway.
I love it.
I've got a feeling he's made a few roofie coladas in his day.
My God, Eddie Bader.
The mic on?
Yes, it is.
We got to hit this break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hey, this is Lyle from Margaret's Exquisite Jewelry, and I do my radio advertising on Blue Water. I'll tell you what, I use most of the stations, and I've been using it for so long. It's hard to tell with the money you spend on advertising if it does any good. When they come in and say, I heard you on the radio, I know it's Blue Water, and I love Blue Water.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles with Bradville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
I'm doing great. What a busy day today.
Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, we went and picked up a new van, not a new van, an old van. Our vans don't last long around here.
Yeah. See, work
So I
them.
found this. So, look, my best friend in life is Randall Tucker, that is over the, he's the general manager over the Mercedes dealership.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime I'm cheap, so I've got another buddy that can go online and he can find them themselves and all. I have to look at them and see if they're any good. He's like, I don't know if you want this. It's been wrecked twice. I'm like, is it just body damage? He's like, yeah. I'm like, it's only got 80,000 miles on it. It's a diesel engine, and it's $21,000. First pallet that falls over in this thing is going to bang all the sides out anyway.
Yep.
Let's go with it.
Yep. 81,000 miles on that diesel. That's just getting broke in.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, it's like driving a tank. I called somebody. I called somebody about putting a backup camera on this thing so I don't kill somebody trying to back this thing up.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea,
Yeah,
Ray.
Yeah, so it's been a busy day around Prattville Carpet. And what we do in a lot of floors, I don't know if they do it or not, but I have a suspicion they don't do it. We always bring the floors early to let them acclimate.
Yeah.
And the reason we want to get them in the house to acclimate or put them inside the store to get them to room temperature, so as it goes to room temperature, it will either shrink or expand. And it's not good if that happens in your house. So those are the little steps that we do along the way just to make sure everything goes right from the time you walk in the store until the time we're finished. So if you're looking for a floor that you want the guys to be all over it, all the way, call us 285-8117. We'll come out and give you that free measurement today.
Again, that's 285-8117. And be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio with Joey, Eddie, and the whole crew.
Guys, y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Ray.
Thanks,
See you, brother.
Ray.
So, have we learned anything today?
We've learned a lot.
We learned a few things.
I didn't take many notes today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I learned you're 56.
56.
I'm not sure what that means, but
All right, you guys be honest with me. How old do I look? Not how I act. How old do I look?
I would have said late 40s.
Joe?
50-something.
Late 40s, early 50s.
How old do I look?
Like a baby.
No, it's because I said you look your age,
No,
and you're now
I'm
going to...
trying to forget about that part. I'm trying to picture you on the jet ski.
Are you going to be biased with us?
And the jet ski, you looked 34.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good age.
Yeah, oh, a great age.
Yeah, it's a very good age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No? No?
No, I'm with you on it.
Okay.
I'm just loving the banter because I don't know how old Joey is, so I'm just sitting here trying to
Him
calculate.
and my son, the same age.
I'll be 38 December 1st.
Okay, all right. Still a good age.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting older.
Ooh.
Realize
I mean to ask you something.
Yeah.
You ever had a pedicure?
No.
Dude, I got one like a week or so
You
ago.
did?
It's the best thing since sliced bread.
We need to do this together.
What did you enjoy about it? In fact, you sent me a photo, I believe. I think it was more... Did you get a manicure along with your pedicure?
No, I think I'm going to go back and get the manicure. If they were
really?
if they were brave enough to rub on these feet, I'll let them have my hands all day long. Apparently, I don't know if you knew, but I've had ingrown toenail problems my whole life.
I didn't know that. I know a lot about you, but I didn't know that one.
That's another fun fact. But the
That's
lady
great.
would she'd dig out one and then she'd kind of look at it and look at me in disgust and then put it down and do.
Are you married?
She looked at me. Oh, the feet, not so good. No, but I'm ready to go back. It was like they put these hot rocks on your feet.
Yeah.
They put flowers in the water because I think my feet might stunk a little bit. They put flowers in the water to make your feet smell good.
Okay.
Yeah, and they put some lotion and stuff on you. Now, being me, I was a fat boy. I was a little bit hungry. They put these 3 portions I thought were sauces. I was like, oh, we're going to get something to eat. These are sauces. No, they're lotions that they're going to put on you.
Did you make any weird noises while they were rubbing your feet?
I made a couple.
That you shouldn't be doing that.
In fact, the people I was with kept reminding the girl, "This is his first time. This is his first time."
They were embarrassed for him.
No, because there's certain noises men start making involuntarily when they're in, say, like 56.
Yeah.
And
tell
I'm
you
just
something.
worried about you because
The hot rock to the sole of your foot.
Yeah.
That was something that got my attention.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how
It's-
so?
You don't realize how tender your feet are
Exactly.
and how sore they are until
And
they start working it
quickly, I moved pretty quickly. I'm surprised as a 56-year-old I was able to contain myself. You know what I mean?
no, I mean I don't need a pedicure. Like I keep
You
my-
bite your nails, man.
No, I don't.
Well, first of all, wrong end of your body, Joey. That's the
Well,
manicure.
that's the manicure. Yeah. I'm not going to take my boot off and show my foot.
Dude, I'm telling you, I was the same way, Joey. But now, man, they grinded on my feet. They did some like edging and stuff. Got some dead skin off there. I'm kind of sold. Kind of sold on it. Thought it'd be a good bonding experience for us.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much.
No, can't we do something else?
We already did jet skis.
Jet ski was fine. Do jet ski.
I can do jet skis
You go jet ski
again.
with us?
Absolutely.
Really?
Let's go. We can have a news talk. We can
Don't
do
even-
a day at
Especially
the
if I
lake.
use Big Back's red one again.
Big back's red one. Oh my god.
That is the fastest one.
Yeah,
I got
that's
it
a
up to
good one.
68 the other day.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
Just don't
Shouldn't
flip
be
it.
doing that. Got to be
Yeah.
honest.
No, I don't. I'm not into the mani pedi.
I wasn't either,
as
Joey,
much
until
as
I did
love
it.
flowers and my hair's luxurious. I don't want to get
You would
manicures
look
and
so
pedicures.
good in a pedicure chair. Like they would probably do a commercial with you in there with some little bit of fan and the hair blowing back like Fabio.
Fabby.
Yeah.
Like
Plus, I can tell right now you got some hair on them knuckly feet you got. So probably on those toes or some hair and stuff. You probably want to get that.
there
taken
is a
care
little
of.
bit of hair on my toes. Yeah.
They'll take that off for you. Won't even charge extra.
It on my belly.
Well, grass don't grow on the playground, Joey. Don't.
Yeah, but I don't have any hair on my chest. I think it's just a generational thing.
It's a generational genetic
That
trait.
stopped in the 70s or the 80s.
I have male pattern baldness, but it's on my chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and then the most insulting part is like there's a single hair right
You get that
there.
one that's like 3 feet
Yeah,
long.
and they're like
trying to
"What
wrap
is-
it around,
what
make it
is
look like
this? I just gotta pluck it every few months.
That's not that wild nipple hair.
Yeah, then you see a picture of Tom Selleck, and you're like, or Burt Reynolds. My
And you're
God.
like, yeah, my gosh.
What a
jeez.
Yeah, just
or Greg Budell
or Sean Connery.
Sean Connery. Not. I don't know if you've seen that YouTube where he was a little bit mouthy, but he said how he would like to talk or how to talk to a woman, and it wouldn't go very well nowadays. He used
Are you talking about the Barbara Walters one?
Yeah.
Oh no, he wasn't how to talk to a woman. He said sometimes when it gets, the woman always wants the last word.
Yay.
And so I don't want to raise my hand to a woman, but I will. And Barbara Walters is like, what are you saying? And this is like Sean Connery at the height of his powers,
Yeah.
too, like probably 40 something,
Yeah.
like just in, and she's like, well, you're going to get a lot of mail for this. And he goes, yeah, female. And I don't know. I don't think, especially a certain generation, I don't think Sean Connery was all that wrong about that. And I'm not talking about morally.
Now you see why I got my ring.
Oh my God.
Pimp hand strong.
My God.
I got this. If I can't get you with a right hook, there's a baseball bat and a 40 sitting in the
I got
sitting
the 40.
in the
We'll go with
hitting
the
in
40.
the door.
I'm too old to fight anymore. I just shoot you. I ain't got no time for that.
Oh my god.
Now, I was thinking of somebody sent me that Sean Connery clip going, I'm thinking of Candace Owens. So I'm like,
Ooh. Well, see, yeah, there
well,
are
now-
times.
Okay.
There are times.
this is what he was talking about with the last word thing, where it's just like, you're
You're making it worse. Shut up.
you're just
But
crazy.
you know, I have found it to be the opposite nowadays. I have found that men, ironically, over the, not to be picking on you, Eddie, but over the age of 55, come from a generation, some of them, that they have to always be right, or they're more gossipy.
many.
They're all into, especially if they're in politics, man. They
Oh, gossipy?
gossipy.
Oh, you don't have to exclude this guy. You
might-
put a
I
wig
might
on him,
have
he's
fell
somebody's
into
aunt.
that.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah, I might have fell into that a time or two.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Joey has called me out for being a mean girl a time or two.
no, and it's really gets the hand motion. You wouldn't believe.
And
It's
I'm
the ring.
sitting here going, when did the roles swap? I'm
I know.
going, what is
I've been
wrong
saying
with
this
you?
Yeah, Joey's been saying this for quite a while.
And I'm going, and even, and again, I'm going to throw it out there on the dating scene stuff. If you're a whiny bag man,
Yeah.
you might as well walk up on this door.
Really?
I don't want, you're going to whine. I don't want to hear it. You either do something to fix it or don't do anything at all and just keep on walking.
We need to keep talking to her about the dating thing with the.
this true.
Oh, I've got so many questions.
But
for
what if
women
it's
her
my
age.
job to complain about things on the radio?
Well, no. What I mean is like, I'm sick, and you're a whiny bag. No, you actually talk about factual information to bring things forth to people. But I don't know what this. Oh my God! Shut up! You're driving me nuts. Like, if you're going to whiny bag about
Suck it up.
I won't give you something to whine about,
Thank you.
as my grandmother would
Thank
say.
you.
Like, do not be a whiny pot. That was my soapbox for the day.
Well, okay, so you want a man that's a man's man.
Yes.
I think that's where a lot of
I'm
men
like-
are mistaken nowadays.
I'm like, if you
look
come in and
reserved.
try to be the female, no, that's my job.
That's my job, right?
Now, I can also be the man. Don't test me.
But hold on now. What if y'all share hair products?
That's fine. As long as it's Redken and it's Moroccan oil.
I use some Moroccan oil.
Okay, all right. So there we go.
Especially in the summer, it's too
See,
humid.
It's
It
too
gets
humid,
too
and
frizzy,
it's got
yeah.
the nice.
Right.
You keep the frizz control,
Right.
and you keep the.
You don't put a lot on it.
I
You
know.
get very
Bring women
sparingly.
together. I
Right.
tell you.
Yes. What?
I'm sorry. Huh?
What did you say? What did you say, Eddie? But yes. It does make me mad that men have literally one bottle for everything. Hair,
Yeah,
body,
5-in-1, baby.
face. I'm like, that makes me so mad.
I like some 5-in-1.
I know.
You can shave with it,
It makes me sick.
exfoliate your skin with it.
All the things.
Conditioner?
If I did that, my hair would look like I stuck my finger in a light socket, and
Well-
I'd look like Rita Hayworth.
And I'm just telling you, this ain't one bottle.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Mine ain't either, so get ready.
That is the most manliest thing I think I've ever heard you say. Say that again for me.
This ain't one bottle hair.
It's like one bottle hair.
And you know, I've got my testosterone up, and so it's growing even stronger.
I'm glad your testosterone's up. We need to get that checked. Say, one bottle hair.
Wait, you don't use a conditioner?
Yeah. My
Okay.
5-in-1.
His 5-in-1.
Oh my
He
God.
has the one bottle that we talked
Also,
about.
right. Also, you run down the street, you get an oil light come on your truck. Got a little bit.
I was
5-in-1.
about to say, so the same thing you wash your undercarriage with, you use on your hair.
Yeah.
My God.
Do you
Eddie
take a
Bayer.
bath? Don't you take a bath? You wash your butt and your face with the same
It's
water?
like you're a cat at a groomer.
I do like a cat.
My God. Anyway, let's get out of here.
Let's go.
Hey, y'all get in touch with Jesse Lynn if you want to advertise on this show.
On the show.
We talk about all sorts of stuff.
Money well spent.
Happy
Yes.
hour. Greg's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News on